very much. Hello, I'm Alexander Armstrong, and this is Pointless, the quiz show where the lowest scorers are the biggest winners. To stay in the game, our contestants need to score as few points as possible. And the way they do that is by giving those little-known answers that no one else can remember. We've asked all our questions on Pointless to 100 people before the show. All our contestants have to do is find those obscure answers that as few of our 100 people gave as possible. So, for example, we gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many countries with a population larger than the UK as they could. And we found out that 97 of them said the USA, an obvious answer that would score you a horribly high 97 points. However, only 39 of them said Brazil, a less obvious country that would score you a respectably low 39 points. Now, occasionally there are even some answers that none of our 100 people could name. So, for example, none of them said Ethiopia, so that would have been a truly pointless country. And that would score you absolutely nothing. You see, that is just what you want. And if you find any of those, then we will add £250 to today's jackpot. Right, let's meet today's players. Karen and Pete, welcome back. We give everyone 2 chances to reach the Pointless final, and today is your final chance. Can you remind us where you're from and how you two know each other?
Well, Pete's actually my brother-in-law. He's been married to my sister Julie for 9 years now.
Very good. How did you get on? How far did you go?
We went out in the 3rd round.
That's right, just before the head-to-head. Well, better luck this afternoon.
Thank you.
Michelle and Ivor, you are the second pair today. Welcome to the show. How do you two know each other?
This is my favourite daughter, Michelle.
Your favourite daughter?
Well, my only daughter.
I'm so glad you said that. Dear, oh dear, there are 3 girls in there who are just looking really disappointed in the audience, thinking, oh, Dad. Well, the very best of luck to both of you.
Thank you.
Paul and Mark, welcome back. This is your second and final chance as well on Pointless. Remind us how you two know each other.
We've been friends about a year and a half. We met at a beer festival when I was tricked into dressing up as a pirate.
Oh, it's tricked now, is it? I see. How do they do that? Make you walk the plank?
Someone said he was a pirate-themed party when it in fact wasn't.
Yeah. I've been to several parties like that. Anyway, Paul and Mark, very best of luck to you. Welcome to Daniel and John. How do you two know each other?
I used to work with John, and he was the best man at my wedding.
Splendid. What did you work as?
John was the manager of a betting shop, and I was his deputy.
Good. Well, let's hope we have some good horse racing questions, maybe, coming up. OK, welcome back, Henry and Toby. This is your second and final time on the show. Remind us how you two know each other.
We do our bit for the environment by car sharing. We've done that for about 10 years now, since Toby gave me a push one time, and he's never let me forget about it ever since.
Very good. That was a push worth giving. Best of luck to you this afternoon. Of course, there is one final person I have to introduce to you all. Here's the man with all the pointless facts and figures. He's my pointless friend. It's Richard. Now, Richard, you know what sort of a show we have this afternoon.
Yeah, I know all the questions, and I've also got all the answers here. And as we go along after each question, I'll be letting you know what all the pointless answers were. Those are the things that none of our 100 said. I'll also be going through the most obvious things, the answers you should avoid. If you're playing along at home, I'll give you all the information you need at the end of each question. Always point out, you don't know any of the questions or any of the answers on today's show. That look of sort of hapless cluelessness is actually completely natural.
That's the look I was born
I think it's going to be a great show today. We've got some really, really good returning pairs.
Excellent. The jackpot hasn't been won in the last 6 shows, so it rolls over. And today's jackpot total stands at an incredible £8,750. And we really are hoping that one of our pairs will be taking it home at the end of today's show. And remember, if you find some pointless answers along the way, each one of those will add £250 to that amount. Bearing all that in mind, let's play Pointless. OK, in the first round, each of you must give me one answer, and you cannot confer with your partner. You will score 1 point for every one of the 100 people that gave that same answer. And remember, this is pointless. So you're trying to score as little as possible. You're trying to find those answers that nobody else gave. If anyone gives me an incorrect answer, they will score the maximum of 100 points, so please be careful. If you do give an incorrect answer, this will happen. You really don't want to see that. At the end of the round, your combined score will be totalled up and the highest scoring pair will be eliminated. Now, only 2 pairs will make it through to our head-to-head semi-final, obviously, so the pressure is on. Right, our first category is action heroes. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second?
Sorry. Okay.
And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many feature films starring Sylvester Stallone as they could. Richard, can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, we're looking for feature films made for cinema release for which Sylvester Stallone received an acting credit. A few things we won't accept. We won't accept TV films. We won't accept short films. Anything that hasn't been released yet, we obviously won't accept. And also anything where Stallone played himself. But we do accept voice performances. There are 43 films on that list, and I can confirm Stallone has made a number of pointless films.
Right, Karen and Pete, before the show you all drew lots, and today it turns out you will be starting us off. So, Pete, find a pointless Stallone film.
Okay. He played a wonderful character in Ants with a Z at the end of it. Ants, his animated film, and he was actually quite good.
Let's see how many of our 100 people said Ants. That's a correct answer. Down it goes, it's good, it's good. Oh, it's brilliant. Well, that means that none of our 100 people said Ants, and it adds £250 to today's jackpot, taking it up to a sucking great total of £9,000. Well, we are entering new territory. That's the largest jackpot we've ever had. Richard, Ants with a Z.
Yeah, Ants, Sylvester Stallone voiced over the character of Weaver.
Well done, Pete and Karen. On to our next pair. Michelle, what are you going to say?
I think I'm probably going to go to the extreme of a pointless answer and say Rambo.
Remember, we are looking for the most obscure films starring Sylvester Stallone. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Rambo. Well, that means 59 of our 100 people said Rambo. That gives you a score of 59. On to our next pair. Paul.
I think he made a highbrow art film about arm wrestling, and it was called Over the Top.
Oh, I like that knowledge. Over the Top. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Over the Top. It's good. Down it goes. That, again, means that none of our 100 people said Over the Top, and it adds another £250 to today's jackpot. The total is now £9,250. That's an embarrassing sum of money. Richard, Over the Top.
Yeah, I honestly thought, Paul, I was the only person in Britain to have seen Over the Top, but you've seen it, so I think it's just us two, because none of these 100 have. Yeah, it's about professional arm wrestling.
Many congratulations, Paul. Over the Top was a pointless answer. On to our fourth pair. Daniel, we're looking for feature films starring Sylvester Stallone.
The only one that comes to mind is probably one of the worst ones he did, which was Judge Dredd.
Let's see how many of our 100 people said Judge Dredd. It's not bad. Oh, it's good. That means that 10 of our 100 people said Judge Dredd, and that gives Daniel and John a score of 10. Toby and Henry, what's it going to be?
Cobra.
Cobra. Splendid. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Cobra. It's good. Oh, it's good. That means that 3 of our 100 people said Cobra. With one exception. I have to say, that is a very low-scoring round. OK, we're halfway through it. Let's have a look at the scores and see how we're doing. Well, obviously, Karen and Pete and Paul and Mark are looking pretty safe there on 0 points. Keep up that low scoring, and you should be certain of getting through to the next round. Michelle and Ivor, 59's got to be looking a little bit dangerous. You've got to try and see if you can find a pointless answer on the next pass and just hope everyone else scores as much as they can. OK, we're going to come back down the line. Can the second players please take their places at the podium? We are looking for feature films starring Sylvester Stallone. Toby and Henry, you are on 3. An impressive low score. To avoid becoming the high scorers and overtaking Ivor and Michelle on 59, you want to be scoring 55 or less with this answer. The red line here is your safety line. If you are below that red line, you are definitely safe and you are through to the next round. If you are above that red line, you become our high scorers and you risk leaving the show at the end of this turn. No pressure, Henry.
I think he was in something called Stop or My Mama Will Shoot.
OK, let's see how many of our 100 people said stop or my mama will shoot. It's good enough. Possibly better than that. It's 5. Look at that. That means 5 of our 100 people said stop or my mom will shoot. That takes your total up to 8 and sees you comfortably through to the next round. OK, our next pair. John, you are currently on 10. The high scorers at the moment on 59 are Ivor and Michelle. To be absolutely safe, you want to be scoring 48 or less to avoid becoming the high scorers. John, what are you going to say? We're looking for feature films starring Sylvester Stallone.
I think he starred in a prisoner of war film called Escape to Victory, where he played a goalkeeper in a football team.
Oh, very good. Let's see how many of our 100 people remembered that. Escape to Victory. It's the right answer. It's good enough. And better, look at that. That means only 2 of our 100 people remembered Escape to Victory. That takes your total up to 12 and sees you comfortably through to the next round. Our next pair, Mark and Paul. You are currently our joint low scorers on 0. Ivor and Michelle, still the front runners there on 59. To be absolutely safe and be sure of going through to the next round, you want to be scoring 58 or less. What's it going to be, Mark?
I think he was in a remake of a classic British film called Get Carter.
Let's see how many of our 100 people said Get Carter. If it's an incorrect answer, you will, of course, score the maximum of 100 points. Let's see. Get Carter. He was in it. And you're through. Very good. That brings your total up to 3. A very impressive combined score, if I may say. Ivor and Michelle. Do you remember what I said? You've got to hope everyone else scores as high as they possibly can, and you've got to try and score a pointless here. So, Ivor, no pressure.
No pressure at all. I think he was in a film called The Specialist.
Oh, that sounds like a pointless film to me. Let's see how many of our 100 people said The Specialist. It's a correct answer. Oh, very good. That, of course, means that none of our 100 people said The Specialist, and it adds yet another £250 to today's already massive jackpot, taking it up to £9,500. Well, Ivor, that was very impressive. We've just got to hope that was good enough. You are still our highest scorers on 59, but it's not all over yet. Oh, Karen. In order to get through to the next round, you have to score 58 or less. If you score 59, there'll be a tie break. If you score over 59, you will be leaving the show. Just to pile the pressure on there, Karen.
OK. I don't know many Sylvester Stallone films, so I'm going to have to say Cliffhanger.
Cliffhanger. OK, let's see how many of our 100 people said Cliffhanger appropriately. Oh, it's good enough! That means that 15 of our 100 people said Cliffhanger. That takes your total up to a very impressive and low 15. Ivor and Michelle. Oh, dear, oh, dear, oh, dear. You scored pretty low. 59 as a combined score is not bad, but I'm afraid...
I should have brought the other daughter.
You might have just let the cat out the bag there, Ivor. Are you thinking of any others now?
No.
Really?
Really?
Really, really? Well, Richard, surely you could think of some that could help them out of their predicament there.
There are 15 pointless Sylvester Stallone movies. We've already had 3 from Paul, Ivor and Pete. The Specialist we had from Ivor, which was with Sharon Stone. Ants we had from Pete, where he plays Weaver, the ant. Nighthawks. Over the Top we've had Paradise Alley, which he wrote. Rhinestone, which he wrote. They're both pointless films. No Place to Hide, I know how he feels. The Party at Kitty and Studs, and The Lords of Flatbush also was a pointless answer. Interestingly, the worst answers, the top 10, apart from Cliffhanger, Karen, which you gave us, it was all Rambo and Rocky. Third, it was Rocky 2. Second, Michelle, you've already given us Rambo, and top, anybody?
Rocky 1.
Rocky, exactly right. Miles ahead. 79 points, that would have got you. Worst possible answer.
Thanks, Rich. OK, Michelle and Ivor, remember, everyone gets 2 chances to reach our pointless final. We have to say goodbye to you for today, but we'll see you next time for your last chance. But thanks so much for playing. You've been great. With the remaining 4 pairs, though, it's time for round 2. OK, guys, and the round 2 category is countries. Can you decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second?
Okay, go first again.
And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. Now remember, Pointless is all about scoring the fewest points. You're looking for those answers that the fewest of our 100 people said. With that in mind, let's find out what the question is. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many countries beginning with M as they could. Richard.
Yeah, we're looking for any country whose English name begins with an M. By country, as always, we mean a sovereign state that's a member of the UN.
Bearing all that in mind, Pete and Karen, you're first up. Pete.
I think possibly Moldova.
Let's see how many of our 100 people said Moldova. Not bad. That means 19 of our 100 people said Moldova, and that gives Pete and Karen an early low score of 19. On to our next pair. Paul, what are you going to say?
OK, I think I'll say the African country Mauritania.
Very good. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Mauritania. It's a correct answer. Very good. That means only 4 of our 100 people said Mauritania. And that gives you a score of 4. On to our next pair. John, what are you going to say?
I'm going to stay in Africa and go for Mozambique.
Let's see how many of our 100 people said Mozambique. It's good. Oh, it's good. That means 17 of our 100 people said Mozambique. That gives John and Daniel a score of 17. Henry and Toby. Henry, what are you going to say?
OK, well, I'll just stick with Africa, I think, and say Mali.
Let's see how many of our 100 people said Mali. Oh, it's good. Well, that means 9 of our 100 people said Mali, and that gives Toby and Henry an impressively low score of 9. Well, we are halfway through the round. Let's take a look at the scoreboard, see how we're doing. Ooh, Paul and Mark got to be feeling pleased with themselves. Low score of 4 there. Keep up that low scoring and you should be safely through to the next round. Things looking a little bit more dodgy for Karen and Pete. Up there on 19. You've got to hope everyone else scores high and you've got to try and find a really low scoring answer on the next pass. OK, we're going to come back down the line. Will the second players please take their places at the podium? So we are looking for countries beginning with M. Toby and Henry, you're on 9. To avoid becoming the high scorers and risk being eliminated at the end of the round, you want to be scoring 9 or less with this answer. There is the red line. You have to come below that red line. Good job this isn't limbo. You have to come below that red line to ensure your place in the next round.
I'm going to go with Malawi.
Malawi. OK, let's see how many of our 100 people said Malawi. Correct answer. That means 21 of our 100 people said Malawi. That brings your total up to 30. You are our current high scorers, but the game is not over yet. On to our next pair. Daniel and John, you're currently on 17. Toby and Henry are now our high scorers on 30. To avoid overtaking them and becoming the new high scorers, you want to be scoring 12 or less with this answer. We are looking for countries beginning with M. What's it going to be, Daniel?
I'm going to go for Montserrat.
Very good. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Montserrat. Unfortunately, that's a wrong answer. That means you score the maximum of 100 points. That takes your total up to 117. And that's great news for Toby and Henry, great news for Mark and Paul. You're both definitely through to the next round. But Richard, Montserrat.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's not a sovereign state or a member of the UN. It's a British overseas territory. It's one of ours.
Oh dear, I'm sorry, guys. On to the next pair. Mark and Paul, as I say, you can't lose. Even if you score the maximum of 100, you still won't overtake Daniel and John's high score of 117. So why not see if you can find another pointless answer there and add 250 quid to our total?
Well, since we can't go out, I'll take a slight risk and I'll say Madagascar.
Let's see how many of our 100 people said Madagascar. It's good. That means 33 of our 100 people said Madagascar. That takes your total up to 37. OK, Karen and Pete, you are currently on 19. Our high scorers at the moment are Daniel and John on 117. To avoid becoming the new high scorers, you have to score 97 or less. Karen, we are looking for countries beginning with M.
OK, well, my initial thought was Madagascar, but that's been taken away now.
Initial thought?
So I'm going to go with Malta.
Let's see how many of our 100 people said Malta. Good. Very good. That means 26 of our 100 people said Malta. That takes your total up to 45 and sees you comfortably in the next round. So at the end of round 2, the losing pair with the highest score are Daniel and John. Bad luck.
Oh, well.
John, you said Mozambique. Lovely low score of 17.
Thought we was on our way there.
But Richard, what other answers could they have given?
There weren't any pointless answers, actually. There were a couple of very, very low ones. If we take a look, there's 2 island groups in the Pacific, the Marshall Islands and Micronesia. They're both just north of Papua New Guinea. And a bit closer to home, Montenegro would have scored you 2 points.
Thanks, Richard. OK, Daniel and John, you've wasted one of your chances to get through to the pointless final, so we have to say goodbye for today. But we'll see you next time for your last chance. Thanks so much for playing. But for the remaining 3 pairs, it's time for round 3. Obviously, only 2 pairs will make it through to the head-to-head, so this is your final chance. All of you need to find those low-scoring answers to stay in the game. The round 3 category is currency. OK, so who's going first? Who's going second?
Okay.
And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many people on English banknotes since 1960 as they could. Richard.
I bet there isn't a single person at home who hasn't just reached into their pocket or opened a purse. Fictional characters don't count. So you couldn't have Danger Mouse, for example, if you wanted.
Thanks, Rich. Now remember, you need to score the fewest points. You need to give the answer that the fewest of our 100 people said. OK, Pete, what's it going to be?
I'm going to go for the first lady to make it a lady on both sides of the banknote, and that's Elizabeth Fry.
Let's see how many of our 100 people said Elizabeth Fry. It's the right answer. Oh, she's good. She's very good. Look at that. That means 11 of our 100 people said Elizabeth Fry, and that gives Pete and Karen a total of 11. Richard, Elizabeth Fry.
Yeah, Elizabeth Fry, as pretty much everyone at home would have worked out in the last 30 seconds, is on the current £5 note.
Very well done. On to our next pair, Paul.
I think I may have seen Charles Dickens, so I'll have to go Charles Dickens.
You're going to go with Charles Dickens. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Charles Dickens. That's a correct answer. Not bad. That means 12 of our 100 people said Charles Dickens. That gives Paul and Mark a score of 12. OK, Henry, what are you going to say? We are looking for people on English banknotes since 1960.
It's a risky one, but I can't think of another. Jack Nicklaus, a golfer. Was on a commemorative £5 note.
Nicholas on a commemorative £5 note. Oh, let's hope that little loophole gets you out of hot water. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Jack Nicklaus. Unfortunately, that is a wrong answer, and that means you score the maximum of 100 points. Richard, Jack Nicklaus.
Well, Jack Nicklaus was on a commemorative note, but from the Bank of Scotland, not an English banknote. So that's bad luck.
Bad luck. OK, we are halfway through the round. Let's see where we are on the scoreboard. So our lowest scorers are Karen and Pete on 11. Keep up the good work, and you will be going through to the next round. Henry and Toby, such bad luck there. You are our highest scorers on the maximum of 100. OK, we are coming back down the line. Can the second players please take their places at the podium? So, Toby, we are looking for people on English banknotes since 1960. You are currently at 100. You've got to try and find a pointless answer here, if you can.
I'm going to say the Lady of the Lamp, Florence Nightingale.
Florence Nightingale. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Florence Nightingale. That means 35 of our 100 people said Florence Nightingale, and that takes Toby and Henry's score up to a high of 135. I'm afraid that means you will be eliminated at the end of this round, as even if the remaining pairs score the maximum of 100, they will not overtake your high score. However, for the remaining pairs, there are several pointlesses, I'm sure, out there to be found, and each one will add £250 to our jackpot. So on to our next pair. Mark.
I think I've seen Sir Christopher Wren on a banknote.
Let's see how many of our 100 people said Sir Christopher Wren. That's good. Very good. Look at that. That means only 9 of our 100 people said Sir Christopher Wren. That takes your score up to 21. And finally, Karen.
It's a bit of a shot in the dark, but I think Brunel might have been on a pound note at some point.
Brunel. Yes. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Brunel. Bad luck. Unfortunately, that is a wrong answer, which means you score the maximum of 100 points. That takes your total up to 111. So at the end of round 3, the losing pair with the highest score, I'm afraid, is Henry and Toby. Guys, that was such bad luck.
Win some, you lose some.
If you had another chance, any other people you're thinking of now?
I'm kicking myself now. I would have said something like Marie Curie. I think maybe she's on one.
Richard, what should they have said?
Well, I feel a bit better because Marie Curie would also have got 100 points. So I don't feel quite so guilty. Well, there was one pointless answer, and that was Sir John Houblon, who was the first governor of the Bank of England. And I think the reason why nobody knows it is he's on the current £50 note. So if anyone at home does know that, well, good luck to you. Next up, Michael Faraday, who used to be on the £20 note, and then Sir Edward Elgar would have got you 5 points. He's currently on the sort of older style of the new £20 note. If we take a look at the worst answers you possibly could have given, Isaac Newton was third. He used to be on our old friend, the £1 note. Florence Nightingale, we've already had. She used to be on the £10 note. And you can probably guess the worst answer of all, she's on every single banknote, Queen Elizabeth II.
Thanks, Rich. Henry and Toby, that was your second and final chance on the show. You just don't have that pointless currency knowledge you needed to get through to the final. So I'm afraid we have to say goodbye. But thanks so much for playing. You've been great. But for the remaining 2 pairs, things are about to get even more exciting now as we enter the head-to-head. Well done, Paul and Mark, Karen and Pete. You've made it through to the head-to-head. Now, obviously, only one pair can make it through to today's final and play for today's jackpot, which currently stands at £9,500. OK, here's how the head-to-head works. You are now allowed to confer. Each team will take turns to give me an answer, and you'll each have an equal number of turns. The first team that accumulates more than 100 points, or the team that goes over 100 by the most, will lose. So, as always, to stay in the game, you want to score as few points as possible by saying those answers that the fewest of our 100 people gave. OK, Paul and Mark, you have performed best over the first 3 rounds, so not only do you get to decide whether or not you go first, you also get to choose our topic. And your choice is between British geography or football championships.
Could we have football championships, please?
Of course you can. And would you like to go first or second?
First, please.
You're going to go first, and you're going to have football championships. OK, let's play Pointless. Right, let's find out what the question is. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many countries that have hosted the European Championships as they could. Richard, we need to know more.
Yeah, we're looking for the name of any country who have hosted the UEFA European Championship since it started in 1960. It used to be the European Nations Cup. More commonly now they call it the Euros. But any of those countries since 1960.
Now, remember, you don't want to go over 100 points. So you want to be scoring the lowest number of points each time. What are those countries that have hosted the European Championships that nobody else could think of? Paul and Mark, your turn to go first.
Could we have Sweden, please?
Sweden. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Sweden. It's a correct answer. Oh, it's good. Very good. That means 11 of our 100 people said Sweden. That means after one answer, your score is 11. OK, Karen and Pete, your first answer, please.
We're going to say Austria.
Austria. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Austria. It's a correct answer. Good. That means 6 of our 100 people said Austria. So, one answer each. Paul and Mark are on 11. Karen and Pete are on 6. OK. Paul and Mark, you need to be careful now. Your next answer could possibly take you over 100 points, and you would risk leaving the game. So your next answer needs to score 89 or less. What's it going to be?
OK, could we have Belgium, please?
Let's see how many of our 100 people said Belgium. It's not bad. That means 18 of our 100 people said Belgium. That takes your total after 2 answers to 29. Karen and Pete, after 1 answer, you were on 6. We want your second answer now. To avoid going over 100, you need to score 94 or less. What are those countries that have hosted the European Championships?
Shot in the dark here. We hope that Spain have hosted it.
If you get a wrong answer, you will, of course, score 100. That will take you over 100, and you will be straight off the game. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Spain. It's good. That means 52 of our 100 people said Spain. That takes your total up to 58 after your second answer. OK, you've each answered twice. Paul and Mark are on 29. Karen and Peter on 58. Paul and Mark, your third answer, please.
We're going to go for Switzerland.
You're going to go for Switzerland. You are currently on 29. To avoid going over 100, you need to score 71 or less. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Switzerland. Good. That means only 4 of our 100 people said Switzerland. That takes your total after 3 answers to 33. OK, Karen and Pete, you are currently on 58. You have to score 42 or less to avoid going over 100. If you do go over 100, you will be straight off the game. There is your red line. You have to come below that red line to avoid going over 100.
Portugal.
Portugal. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Portugal. It's good. That means 23 of our 100 people said Portugal. That takes your total after 3 answers up to 81. You are now on 3 answers apiece. The scores are Paul and Mark on 33, Karen and Pete on 81. What are those countries that have hosted the European Championships that nobody else could think of? Paul and Mark, your 4th answer, please.
We're going to go for the Netherlands.
OK, you're going to go for the Netherlands. To avoid going over 100, you need to score 67 or less. Let's see how many of our 100 people said the Netherlands. OK. And it's good. That means 22 of our 100 people said the Netherlands. That takes your total up to 55. OK, Karen and Pete, we need your 4th answer. You are currently on 81. To avoid going over 100, you have to score 19 or less. Paul and Mark have now given 4 answers. This is your 4th answer. You're going second, so this takes you over 100. You are straight off the show.
Germany.
Germany. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Germany. Well, you've had 4 turns each, and Karen and Pete, you have gone over 100 points. I'm afraid to say that means you are off the show. You were doing so well there for a minute or two. You're not really football fans?
Cheers.
You forget where they were held.
Yeah, no, it's true, you do.
There's a mixture between World Cups as well. We're saying, you know, France, that was 98, that was World Cup. Italian, 90, you know, so we're just trying to sort it out between us.
Richard, what other answers should they have been looking for?
Well, there was one pointless answer. In 1976, the championships were hosted by Yugoslavia. Czechoslovakia beat West Germany in the final, to the delight of all. And Austria and Switzerland, we've already had. They, of course, co-hosted it in 2008, where Spain beat Germany, to the delight of all again. To look at the worst answers you possibly could have given. Karen and Pete, you've already given us 2 of these. The 3rd worst answer was Spain. 2nd was France, and you gave us the worst answer, which was Germany.
Well, there you are. Thanks, Richard. Karen and Pete, that was your 2nd and final chance on the show. I'm afraid you just clearly don't have that pointless football knowledge you needed to get through to the final, so I'm afraid we do have to say goodbye. But thanks so much for playing. You've been great. Thank you. But for Paul and Mark, it's time for our pointless final. So, congratulations, Paul and Mark. You've fought off all the competition and you've won our coveted pointless trophy. Very good. Now you've got the chance to win our pointless jackpot. Nobody's won the jackpot for the last 6 shows. So at the end of today's show, the jackpot currently stands at an amazing £9,500. Our biggest jackpot yet. OK, the rules are very simple. To win the money, all you have to do is find a pointless answer that none of our 100 people could think of. Now, we've had 3 pointless answers today, one of which was given by you, Paul. All you've got to do is find another one. First, you need to choose a category from these 3 options, and you can go for the Beijing Olympics, radio personalities, or award-winning authors.
Beijing Olympics.
Anything good on it?
Could be anything, but
Could be.
we're all into sport, though, aren't we? I
Yeah.
think that might be the one.
Should we go for that one?
Yep, could we take the Beijing Olympics, please?
OK, you're going to take the Beijing Olympics. So we gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many British gold medal winners in Beijing as they could. Richard.
Yep, we're looking for the name of any British athlete who won a gold medal for Great Britain at the Beijing Olympics. There were a very impressive 27 of them.
You now have up to 1 minute to come up with 3 answers. All you need to do to win that £9,500 is for just one of those answers to be pointless. Your 60 seconds start now.
Okay, we've got cycling. Chris Hoy, but he's too obvious.
Victoria Pendleton.
Victoria
She's quite
Pendleton,
obvious.
Nicola Cook, Mark Cavendish, I think. There's a guy called Jason Kenny, who could be one.
Mark Cavendish didn't win. I'll just
Did he
tell
not?
you
Okay.
that.
Okay. Jason Kenny, I think, could be one for us.
What about the sailors?
Sailors,
There was a guy called Ian Percy, wasn't there?
Ian Percy, tremendous. Ian Percy. We've got Tim Brabant, was he the rower, the doctor guy with the bald head?
With the kayaking.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll definitely go for
Tim
him.
Brabant. Christina Huragu won one, but she's too common. Not common in life. She's
I know what you mean.
she may be, I don't know. Tim Brabant.
Tim Brabant.
Ian Percy.
Yeah. And
What's his name?
Jason Kenny.
Brabant, Percy.
5 seconds.
Kenny.
Brabant, Percy, Kenny.
Time's up.
Okay.
Sounds like you got your 3 answers.
Yeah, we've got plenty, but it's whether they're going to be pointless or not. But we're going to say Tim Brabants.
Tim Brabants.
Ian Percy.
Ian Percy.
And Jason Kenny.
And Jason Kenny. Let's put those up on the board. Come on. There they are. Tim Brabants, Ian Percy, Jason Kenny. Let's go with your first answer. Okay, this is for the biggest jackpot we've ever had on Pointless. £9,500. This has to be a pointless answer. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Tim Brabants. Okay, come on, Tim Brabants, down you go. For £9,500, this has to be pointless. Congratulations, well done, well done. Congratulations, you managed to find that all-important pointless answer. That means you go home with the jackpot of £9,500. Guys, that was incredible. So, Richard, Tim Brabants.
Yeah, very impressive, Dr. Tim. He won the 1,000-metre freshwater kayak. Just looking at your other 2 answers, Ian Percy, who won the star class, the keelboat star class, he would have scored you 0 as well. He was also a pointless answer. Very impressive, 2 pointless answers. And just to clear things up, Jason Kenny, who was one of the team sprint cyclists, he would have got you 0 as well. He was also a pointless answer. 3 pointless answers.
Fantastic, the hat trick. Well, congratulations. You go into the pointless history books today. Not only our biggest jackpot winners, but also worthy winners there by getting the hat trick. All 3 of your final answers were pointless. That's fantastic. You've been fantastic contestants. Thanks so much for coming on the show. Thank you. Brilliant. So, Paul and Mark won today's jackpot. Join us next time when we put more obscure knowledge and forgotten facts to the test on Pointless. Meanwhile, it's goodbye from Richard.
Goodbye.
And goodbye from me. Goodbye. Thank you very much. Hello, I'm Alexander Armstrong, and this is Pointless, the quiz show where the lowest scorers are the biggest winners. To stay in the game, our contestants need to score as few points as possible. How do they score as few points as possible? Well, they need to come up with the most obscure answers they can. We've asked all our questions on Pointless to 100 people before the show. Can you plumb the depths of your knowledge and find those elusive answers that no one else can think of? So, for example, we gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many 6-letter countries as they could. And we found out that 70 of them said France, an obvious answer that would score you a horribly high 70 points. However, only 30 of them said Sweden, a less obvious country that would score you a respectably low 30 points. Now, occasionally there are even some answers that none of our 100 people could name. So, for example, none of them said Malawi. So that would have been a truly pointless country, if you understand me. And that would score you Absolutely nothing. You see, that's what you want. If you find any of those, we will add £250 to today's jackpot. Before we go any further, let's meet today's players. Bob and Graham, welcome back. We give everyone 2 chances to reach the Pointless final, and this is your second and final chance. Can you remind us where you are from and how you two know each other?
We're from Cardiff and Newport, respectively. Graham and I met in a bar about 17 years ago. It's not a romance story. And we've been buddies ever since. We're both round tablers, and Graham's a good karate expert.
A good karate expert, notice. Not just a karate expert, a good karate expert.
Just watch yourself.
I know, I better have. Very good. How far did you get on last time?
We got to the final, didn't we?
You got to the head-to-head. What went wrong in the end?
Alto saxophone.
That was
Soprano
it.
saxophone, sorry.
Yeah. Dear, oh dear. Well, best of luck today. Maybe through to the final, I think. On to our next pair, Matt and Dave. You are the second pair today. Welcome to the show. How do you two know each other?
Dave and I are accountants and we work together in Southampton, but we're not as boring as we sound, we hope.
Everybody says this. Poor old accountants. You get such a raw deal. Boring, for heaven's sake. Would a boring person wear that green jumper? Would he?
I'm clearly a very confident person.
Yes, very good. Well, no, best of luck to you. I'm sure you'll do fantastically well. Catherine and Deanne, you are our third pair today. Welcome to the show. How do you two know each other?
Thank you. We've known each other for about 10 years now. We work in the same place and we are both teachers, and we are definitely not boring school teachers. Definitely not.
You're not?
I think
I know you're not. Whereabouts are you teachers?
We teach up in Northumberland in a school, a middle school, a place called Prudhoe.
Prudhoe?
Yeah, well, if you're posh, you say Prudhoe, but we say Prudhoe, because that's what it's called.
Right. Well, very best of luck to you. And welcome back to our fourth pair today, Zena and Julie. This is your second and final chance on Pointless. Remind us who you are.
We're mother and daughter from Walsall in the West Midlands. I'm a project manager, and amongst a lot of other professions, Mom is a retired pub landlady.
What categories are you hoping might come up today?
Anything but geography.
Anything but geography. Yeah. OK. And finally, Rick and Anthony, welcome to the show. How do you two know each other?
Anthony and I were both professional musicians. I met Anthony in 69 when he joined the band, and we've been best mates ever since. But now I'm retired due to ill health. I'm sick of travelling.
Sick of travelling. Well, nice of you to travel here. Where have you travelled from?
Well, we've come from Huddersfield today.
Very good. Yeah. Well, welcome to the show, and the very best of luck to you. Of course, there is one final person I need to introduce to you all. He is the man with all the pointless facts and figures. It's my pointless friend, it's Richard. Richard, how are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
Seldom better.
Excellent. As you say, I've got all the facts and figures on today's show. At the end of each question, I'll go through all the most obvious answers, the things that everyone in our 100 has said. But more crucially, I'll go through all the pointless answers as well, the things that no one in our 100 said. So if you're playing along at home, you can see exactly how well you've done. I think a great show in store today. We've got Graham and Bob, who are a great pair. I think they'll want to go one step further. Zena and Julie, of course, who, let's say, made an impact. We've got teachers, we've got accountants, we've got these guys. I think it's going to be quite a battle. I always say you don't know any of the questions or any of the answers on today's show.
No.
So everything on today's show is a surprise to you too. So best of luck to everybody, and best of luck everybody at home.
Thanks, Richard. Last time, finalists Simon and Martin won the jackpot of £1,500. So today's jackpot total starts again at £1,000. But remember, if you find some pointless answers along the way, each one of those will add £250 to that amount. Let's play Pointless. So in the first round, each of you must give me one answer, and you cannot confer with your partner. You will score 1 point for every one of the 100 people that gave that same answer. And remember, this is Pointless. You are trying to find the least well-known answers and score the fewest points. If anyone gives me an incorrect answer, they will, I'm afraid, score the maximum of 100 points, so do be careful. If you do give an incorrect answer, this will happen. You really don't want to see that. At the end of the round, your combined score will be totalled up, and the highest scoring pair will be eliminated. Obviously, only 2 pairs can make it through to the head-to-head semi-final, so the pressure is really on. OK, our first category is family films. OK, can you decide in your pairs who's going to go first? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, let's find out what our first question is going to be. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many Disney animated feature films as they could. Richard, can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, we're essentially looking for any animated feature film that has been produced solely by the Walt Disney Animation Studios. We're essentially just looking for the, you know, the sort of animated classics, we quite sometimes call them, produced solely by the Walt Disney Animation Studios for cinema release.
OK, thanks, Richard. Right, Graham and Bob, before the show, you all drew lots, and it turns out you will be starting us off today. So, Graham, give us a Disney animated feature film. Preferably an obscure one.
Yeah, I'm going to go for one of the oldest, perhaps one that people not remember the most. I'm going to go for Robin Hood.
Robin Hood. Very good. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Robin Hood. It's a correct answer. Oh, it's good. Very good. That means 15 of our 100 people said Robin Hood. That gives Graham and Bob a nice low score of 15 to kick us off. OK, Dave and Matt, what are you going to give us? Dave?
I've thought of another older Disney film, I think, and it's Pinocchio.
Pinocchio. Very good. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Pinocchio. It's a correct answer. Not bad. That means 36 of our 100 people said Pinocchio. That gives Dave and Matt a score of 36. On to our next pair. We are looking for Disney animated feature films. The more obscure, the better. Deanne, what are you going to say?
Obscure I do normally, but I really can't think. The only one I can think of is The Little Mermaid.
The Little Mermaid. Let's see how many of our 100 people said The Little Mermaid. It's good. Not bad. That means 19 of our 100 people said The Little Mermaid. OK, Zena. Is this a good one for you, Zena? No. It's not geography.
No, that's true. I just seem to pick all the ones that are the number of the hundreds.
You always say that. Come on.
I know, I always say that.
It's going to be a low scorer. What's it going to be, Zena?
Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
All right, maybe this time. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Let's see how many of our 100 people said that. That means 71 of our 100 people said that. In any other game show, that would be a fantastic score. However, this is pointless, where the aim is to score as little as possible. Ah, well. On to our final pair. And Rick, what are you going to say? We are looking for Disney animated feature films.
I think Jack and the Beanstalk.
Jack and the Beanstalk. Very good. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Jack and the Beanstalk. Ooh, unfortunately, Rick, that is a wrong answer, which means you score the maximum of 100 points. Richard, Jack and the Beanstalk.
Yeah,
what happened there?
A classic children's tale, but not a Disney animation, I'm afraid. Unlucky.
OK, well, we are halfway through the round. Let's see how we're doing on the scoreboard. Well, Graham and Bob looking very good there on 15. Nice low score. If you can keep up that low scoring, you will definitely be through to the next round. Rick and Anthony, I'm afraid you are way out ahead on 100 points. All right, we're coming back down the line. Can the second players please take their places at the podium? OK, Anthony, we are looking for Disney animated feature films. You are currently on 100 points. You've got to try and score as little as you possibly can. What are you going to give me?
Fantasia.
Fantasia. Oh, dear. Julie didn't like that answer at all. I don't know. Maybe she didn't like the film. I don't know what that's all about. OK, Fantasia. Let's see how many of our 100 people went with Fantasia. It's got to be low, Anthony. Got to be low. Oh, it's coming down. Not bad. That means 25 of our 100 people said Fantasia. That takes your total up to 125. Oh, Julie, you're currently on 71. To avoid overtaking Anthony and Rick on 125, you want to be scoring 53 or less. Something tells me you had Fantasia on the tip of your tongue there.
That's twice that is now.
I don't know, just terrible.
It's dreadful.
Terrible.
Now, I've got something obscure, but I'm not sure whether it's classed as a feature film. But I'm going to go for Steamboat Willie.
OK, You want to be scoring 53 or less to avoid becoming the high scorers. There's the red line. If you are below that red line, you are definitely through to the next round. If it is an incorrect answer, I'm afraid you will score the maximum of 100 points. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Steamboat Willie. Unfortunately, that is a wrong answer, which means you score the maximum of 100 points. Richard, Steamboat Willie.
Yeah, Steamboat Willie was the original Mickey Mouse animation, but it wasn't a feature film. It was just 8 minutes long, so it doesn't count.
Oh, bad luck. I mean, that was good knowledge. But bad luck. I'm afraid that means you score 171, and that means you are definitely the highest scorers in this round, so you will be eliminated at the end of the round. None of the remaining pairs, even if they score the maximum, will be able to overtake your high score there, I'm afraid. But, guys, for those remaining pairs, nice chance to look for some pointless answers and see if you can add £250 to our jackpot total. OK, Catherine. We are looking for Disney animated feature films.
I think this is Disney. I'm going to go for The Sword in the Stone.
The Sword in the Stone. OK. Let's see how many of our 100 people said The Sword in the Stone. That's good. Down it goes. Oh! Very good. That means 5 of our 100 people said Sword in the Stone. That takes your total up to 24. OK, Matt and Dave. Time for a pointless here, I think.
I'm ashamed to say that I'm a little bit of a Disney geek, despite being 24 years old.
It has to be pointless, then. Well done. We are looking for Disney animated features.
I'm going to go for Basil the Great Mouse Detective.
Very good. I don't think anyone would have thought of that. Let's see how many of our 100 people... God, you are a geek, aren't you? That's fantastic. Let's see how many of our 100 people went with Basil the Great Mouse Detective. It's correct. Oh, down it comes. Could it be a pointless? Down it goes. That means that none of our 100 people said Basil the Great Mouse Detective, and that adds £250 to today's jackpot, bringing it up to a total of £1,250. Very well done, Matt. OK, Bob and Graham, let's have another pointless from you. Bob, what's it going to be?
The Aristocats.
The Aristocats, very good. Let's see how many of our 100 people said the Aristocats. It's good. Very good. Could this be pointless? Down it goes. Ooh. Almost. That means 9 of our 100 people said the Aristocats. That brings your total up to 24. So that's the end of round 1, and the losing pair with the highest score is Zena and Julie. Bad luck. Steamboat Willie was very impressive, though.
It was. It was very impressive, but wrong.
Well, no, a useful bit of Disney archive. Sadly, it just wasn't long enough to be a feature. But now the pressure's off. You can think of 1,000,001 other Disney films, surely, can't you? Really? Really?
I wanted the Beatles.
I wanted Doctor Who.
Yeah.
We don't do requests. What am I, Tony Blackburn? Come on. Well, bad luck, guys. Well, you did pretty well, and I thought your archive knowledge of Steamboat Willie was very impressive indeed. I'm just sorry it was 78 minutes too short to be a feature film. There we are. Richard, what else should they have gone with?
Yeah, well, there were 18 pointless answers. If you got any of these, well done. Matt's already given us one. The Great Mouse Detective. Chicken Little, quite a recent one. That was pointless. Fantasia 2000. If you'd added 2000 to Fantasia, like you care, you're through anyway. But it would have been £250. So let's take a look at a couple more. Lilo and Stitch was pointless. Meet the Robinsons, and Brother Bear, another recent one, would have been a pointless answer. Let's take a look at the most obvious answers you could have given. The third worst answer you could have given would have been Bambi. That was very popular. The second worst answer was Cinderella, and we can usually rely on Zena to have given us the most obvious answer. The worst answer you could have given, and that was Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Those are the worst 3 answers.
Thanks very much, Richard. Zena and Julie, that was your second and final chance on the show. You just didn't have that pointless cartoon knowledge, I'm afraid, that we needed to get you through to the final. So I'm afraid we do have to say goodbye, but thanks so much for playing. You've been great. For the remaining 4 pairs, though, it's time for round 2. OK, guys, the round 2 category is capital cities. OK, can you decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. Now remember, Pointless is all about scoring the fewest points. You need to rack your brains for those obscure, unheard of answers you think the fewest of our 100 people said. With that in mind, let's find out what the question is. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many capital cities beginning with B as they could. Richard, fill us in.
We're looking for the capital of any country in the world whose usual English name begins with a B. As always, by countries, we mean a member of the UN that is a sovereign state in its own right. The only other thing I'll say is, in countries that have more than one capital, we're looking for the administrative capital. That's just, you know, your regular capital. There are 26 world capitals that begin with B.
OK, Bob and Graham, you're kicking us off. Bob, a capital city beginning with B. What could be simpler?
Absolutely no idea, so I'm going to go for a complete guess. Brasilia.
Brasilia. A complete guess?
Yeah.
If it's wrong, obviously, you will score the maximum of 100 points. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Brasilia. It's good. It could be very good. Not bad at all. Good guess. That means 13 of our 100 people said Brasilia. Richard, Brasilia.
Yeah, Brasilia, very good. Brazil's one of those countries where people get confused about the capital. It's not Rio, it's not Sao Paulo, it's Brasilia. So a perfect answer.
Matt.
I am going to go with Bratislava.
Bratislava.
I think it's a capital city. I hope so.
I hope so too. If it's not, it's 100 points. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Bratislava. It's good. Down she goes. Oh! That means 5 of our 100 people said Bratislava. Richard?
An even more perfect answer, it turns out. Do you know where Bratislava is the capital of?
Moldova.
Oh, it's so close. Slovakia.
OK, on to our third pair. Catherine.
I don't really think this is one, but I'm going to have to say it. Budapest.
Budapest. Well, we are looking for capital cities beginning with B. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Budapest. It's good. It's very good. That means 19 of our 100 people said Budapest. OK. Richard, Budapest.
Yeah, Budapest is the capital of Hungary, of course.
On to our final pair. Rick, what are you going to give me? We're looking for capital cities beginning with B.
I'm going to have to go with the only one that I can think of, that's Belgrade.
OK, let's see how many of our 100 people said Belgrade. It's a correct answer. Oh, it's very good. Look at that. That means 7 of our 100 people said Belgrade. OK, we are halfway through the round. Let's have a look at the scoreboard. Very revealing. OK, Matt and Dave looking very strong on 5. Keep up that low scoring and you'll definitely be through to the next round. Catherine and Deanne, it's not bad, 19, but I'm afraid you are our high scorers. So you've got to try and score as low as you can on the next pass. Hope everyone else scores high. OK, we're going to come back down the line. Will the second players please take their places at the podium? OK, capital cities beginning with B. That's what we're looking for. Anthony.
Beirut.
Beirut. You want to be scoring 11 or less with this to avoid becoming the new high scorers. There is the red line, way down there. You want to come in below that red line to be absolutely sure of staying on. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Beirut. It's a correct answer. Oh, it's good, Anthony. It's very good. Look at that. That means 6 of our 100 people said Beirut. That takes your total up to an impressively low 13. Richard, Beirut.
Yeah, Beirut, great answer. Capital of the Lebanon.
OK, Deanne, you are our high scorers on 19. You've got to try and score as low as you possibly can. What are you going to say?
Well, all of the ones that I was going to say have obviously been taken.
Always
happens.
happens.
Because I knew all of those places. The only one I can think of, and I'm not sure whether it is a capital, which I'm ashamed to say, I'm trying to think of jigsaws when I was a kid, trying to fit them together.
Yeah, that's how I remember
Yeah,
them.
and they're all a bit muddled now, is Bern.
If it is wrong, you will score 100 points. But let's see. Burn. It's the right answer. You see, it's very good. Look at that. That means only 5 of our 100 people said Bern. That takes your total up to a very impressive 24. Richard, Bern.
Yeah, Bern, capital of?
Switzerland.
Switzerland, exactly, yeah. It's another one like Brazil. It's not Zurich, it's not Geneva, it's Bern. So, very good answer.
OK, Dave and Matt, we are looking for capital cities beginning with B. You want to be scoring 18 or less with this answer. Dave, what are you going to say?
I'm going to say Bridgetown in Barbados.
There's your red line. It's a low red line because everyone's scoring low. Of course, if your answer is wrong, if it's an incorrect answer, for whatever reason, you will score 100 points. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Bridgetown. Well, it's correct. It could be very good. It's good enough to see you through. Oh! That means 2 out of our 100 people said Bridgetown. That takes your total up to 7. You are definitely through to the next round. OK, Graham and Bob. Oh, it's tough being there, isn't it?
It is.
Have you had all your choices picked off by all the others?
Absolutely, yeah. Bern was going to be one of my favourites.
Oh, dear. OK.
The really, really obvious ones are left now, which I'm not going to use because that means we're out. So I'm going to have to take a real punt-up field and go for Bogota.
You have to score 10 or less with Bogota. There's your red line. It's just down there. Oh, let's see how many of our 100 people said Bogota. It's a correct answer. It's good. Not a pointless, but it's good enough. That means 9 of our 100 people said Bogota. That takes your total to 22. That's great news for you two. So at the end of round 2, the losing pair with the highest score are Catherine and Deanne. Bad luck. 24, it's a really low score there.
Yes.
Bad luck, though. I'm afraid your capitals just weren't obscure enough.
No, we need to travel more, obviously.
Did you have others as well up your sleeve?
Absolutely not.
Really? Oh, well, you've done very well all the same. Richard, what answers should they have gone for?
Well, there were 9 pointless answers. There'd be people shouting obscure things at the television set now. Let's take a look at some of them. There is Bandar Seri Begawan, which, of course, is the capital of... Stop shouting out. It's the capital of Brunei. Bamako, which is the capital of Mali. Bangui, which is the capital of our old friend, the Central African Republic, which seems to turn up in every pointless list we ever do. Banjul, which is Gambia. Basseterre, which is St Kitts and Nevis. Belmopan, which is the capital of Belize. A couple more, 3 more, I think. Bishkek, which is Kyrgyzstan. Bissau, which is Guinea-Bissau. Some people have got all of these at home. And Bujumbura, which, of course, Alexander is the capital of Burundi. I won't embarrass you. Burundi, we know you know. Well done at home if you got any of those. And if you got all 9 of them, you possibly need to... I was going to say you need to get out more. You actually need to get out less. Let's take a look at the most obvious answers you could have given. Catherine, you gave us Budapest, which was the 3rd most obvious answer. Next up was Brussels. Alexander?
It's Berlin.
Berlin was the worst answer you could give.
Well, thanks very much, Rich. OK, Catherine and Deanne, you've wasted one of your chances to get to the pointless final. We have to say goodbye to you for today, but we'll see you next time for your last chance. Thanks so much for playing.
Thank you.
For the remaining 3 pairs, however, it's time for round 3. Now, obviously, only 2 pairs will make it through to our head-to-head, so this is your final chance. All of you need to find those low-scoring answers to stay in the game. The round 3 category is pop music. Well, that's good news for Rick and Anthony, isn't it?
Maybe.
Let's hope. OK, who's going to go first? Who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, let's find out what the question is going to be. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many Kylie Minogue top 40 singles as they could. Possibly slightly less good news for Rick and Anthony. Richard, fill me in.
Essentially, we're looking for any song released by Kylie Minogue in the UK that's charted in the official UK top 40. We're also including duets and collaborations in that. There are, and it beggars belief to say this, 43 such singles. He said 43 top 40 hits.
Wow. OK, remember, you need to score the fewest points possible. So you need to give the answer that the fewest of our 100 people said. OK, Bob and Graham, you're first. Bob, what are you going to give me?
Massive, massive Kylie fan. Absolutely. Especially for you.
Especially for you. Let's see how many of our 100 people said especially for you. It's correct. Always good. Very good. I thought you were joking when you said you were a massive Kylie fan.
I am.
I don't know. That means only 8 of our 100 people said especially for you. That gives you an impressive score, Bob, of 8. On to our next pair. Matt, what are you going to say? We're looking for Kylie Minogue top 40 singles.
I'm going to say Kids with Robbie Williams.
Kids with Robbie Williams. Yeah. Didn't know she had any, but there we are. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Kids. It's good. Oh, it's very good. Look at that. That means only 3 of our 100 people said Kids. That gives you an impressive low score of 3. Anthony and Rick, we are looking for Kylie Minogue top 40 singles.
Oh, you've got me now, Alexander. Not really our era. The only one I could think of, if it was theirs, is You're the One That I Want.
OK, you are going for You're the One That I Want. If it is incorrect, it will score you the maximum of 100 points. Let's see how many of our 100 people said You're the One That I Want. Oh dear, unfortunately that is a wrong answer. That means you score 100 points. Richard, You're the One That I Want.
Yeah, You're the One That I Want. It's not Kylie, unfortunately. It's Olivia Newton-John, who was, of course, the Kylie of the 70s.
OK, we're halfway through the round. Let's see how we're doing on the scoreboard. Looking extremely safe there are Matt and Dave with a very low score of 3. Keep up that low scoring and you'll definitely be through to the next round. Rick and Anthony, bad luck, looking very dangerous there on 100 points. OK, we're going to come back down the line. Will the second players please take their places on the podium? OK, we are looking for Kylie Minogue top 40 singles. Rick, you are the high scorers at the moment on 100. You've got to try and score as low as you possibly can.
Let's try Fever.
OK, you're going to go with Fever. Of course, if it is an incorrect answer, you will score the maximum of 100 points. OK, let's see how many of our 100 people said Fever. Unfortunately, that is also a wrong answer, which means you score another 100 points. That takes your total up to 200. I'm afraid you are unequivocally the losers, which means you are definitely leaving at the end of this round, because even if our remaining pairs score the maximum, they will not overtake your high score. Bad luck. Richard, Fever.
Yeah, Fever is actually the name of a Kylie Minogue album, so it's the worst of all worlds. You've got 200 points, you're going home, and you've just admitted on national television, you know the title of a Kylie Minogue album.
No shame in that, Rick, I'm sure. Dave, you are currently on 3. You are the lowest scorers. You have a free reign. Even if you score the maximum of 100, you're definitely going through to the next round. Why not see if you can find a pointless single by Kylie Minogue? I bet there are a few.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's going to be a pointless one, but I'm going to say Spinning Around.
OK, let's see how many of our 100 people said Spinning Around. It's the right answer. Not bad. That means 27 of our 100 people said Spinning Around. That takes your total up to 30. And finally, Graham.
I'm going to go with one of her early ones. I'm a fan now, haven't I? The Locomotion.
Let's see how many of our 100 people said The Locomotion. It's good. That means 37 of our 100 people said The Locomotion. That takes your total up to 45. So at the end of round 3, the losing pair with the highest score is Rick and Anthony. Bad luck, guys.
We couldn't have got there no matter what with such low scores.
Richard, what answers should they have gone for?
Well, she's released 10 pointless singles. These are the answers that none of our 100 people could remember. If You Were With Me Now, which was a duet with Keith Washington, Did It Again, Giving You Up. These are all toe tappers. If you get any of these at home, very, very well done. Please Stay and In My Arms, they were both top 10 singles, but no one remembered them. And The One was also a pointless answer. The worst Kylie singles, the worst things you could have said. The third most obvious answer was Can't Get You Out of My Head. The second we've already had from Graham. It was the locomotion. And Alexander, the most obvious Kylie single of all.
Anyone?
I should be so lucky.
I should be so lucky.
I should be so lucky was the most obvious answer of them all.
OK, well, thanks, Richard. OK, Rick and Anthony, you've wasted one of your chances to get to the pointless final. We have to say goodbye to you for today, but we'll see you next time for your last chance. Thanks so much for playing. However, for the remaining two pairs, things are about to get even more exciting as we enter the head-to-head. So well done, Matt and Dave, Graham and Bob, you've made it through to the head-to-head. Now, only one pair can make it through to today's final and play for today's jackpot, which currently stands at £1,250. OK, here's how the head-to-head works. You are now allowed to confer. Each team will take turns to give me an answer, and you'll each have an equal number of turns. The first team that accumulates more than 100 points, or the team that goes over 100 by the most, will lose. So, as always, to stay in the game, you want to come up with those really obscure facts that everyone else has forgotten about and score as few points as possible. Matt and Dave, you performed best over the first 3 rounds, so not only do you get to decide whether or not you go first, you also get to choose the topic, and your choice is between athletic events or currency.
I know that I wouldn't be any good at athletic events, despite my body. Should we do currency?
Yeah, currencies, please, Alexander.
Currency. Would you like to go first or second?
First, please.
OK, currency, and you're going first. Let's play Pointless. Right, let's find out what the question is. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many British pre-decimal coins as they could. Richard.
We're looking for any coin that was in circulation between 1900 until decimalisation in 1971. There were 11 coins.
OK, remember, you don't want to go over 100, so you want to score the lowest number of points each time. What are those pre-decimal coins that no one else could think of?
Can we go for a halfpenny first?
A halfpenny, or even a halfpenny?
A halfpenny.
OK, let's see how many of our 100 people went with halfpenny or halfpenny. It's a correct answer. Ooh, that's high. That means 61 of our 100 people said halfpenny. After your first answer, your score is 61. OK, Graham and Bob.
Yeah, we're going to go with threepence.
Threepence. Let's see how many of our 100 people said threepence. That means 62 of our 100 people said threepence. You've each given one answer. Graham and Bob are on 62, Matt and Dave on 61. Now, Matt and Dave, you need to be very careful now. Your next answer could take you over 100, and you could risk being eliminated. You have to score 39 or less to avoid going over the 100. Well, we are looking for British pre-decimal coins.
We're going to go with Guinea.
OK, here is your red line coming in. You have to score below that red line to avoid going over 100. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Guinea. Unfortunately, that is an incorrect answer, which scores you the maximum of 100 points. That takes your score to 161. It's not all over yet. Graham and Bob have yet to give their second answer. What's it going to be?
Half a crown.
You are currently on 62. Matt and Dave are currently on 161. To avoid overtaking them and being the high scorers and being eliminated, you have to score 98 or less. There is your red line. If you come in below that red line, you are through to the final. Let's see how many of our 100 people said half a crown. It's good.
Well done, that man.
That means 60 of our 100 people said half a crown. That takes your score to 122. You've each had 2 turns. Matt and Dave, I'm afraid you have gone over 100 points by the most, and I'm afraid that means you are now off the show. Richard, put us out of our misery here.
Yeah, of the 11 pre-decimal coins, there was actually one pointless answer. If you got this one at home, absolutely top marks. The pointless answer was a 3rd farthing, which would have got you absolutely nothing. Sovereign would have got you 23. The most obvious answers, sixpence was 78 people said that. Then the shilling, And the absolute top answer of all was the penny. Penny was the worst answer of all.
So why wasn't guinea allowed?
Well, the guinea, unfortunately, came out of circulation in 1813, so way before our time.
Thanks very much, Richard. OK, Matt and Dave, you've wasted one of your chances to get to the pointless final. We have to say goodbye to you for today. But we'll see you next time for your last chance. Thanks so much for playing. But for Graham and Bob, it's time for our pointless final. Congratulations, Graham and Bob. You've fought off all the competition and you've won our coveted pointless trophy. Now you've got a chance to win our pointless jackpot. At the end of today's show, the jackpot total stands at £1,250. OK, the rules are very simple. To win the money, all you have to do is find a pointless answer that none of our 100 people could think of. We've had one pointless answer today. Neither of you two gave it. But let's hope you can find one now. First, you've got to choose a category from these three options. And you can go for European politics, Australian movie stars, or radio personalities.
What do you fancy?
Politics is not my strong point. Let's go for... Oh, you as well. What do you think? Radio personalities?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll do
Radio
me.
personalities.
Radio personalities. OK, let's find out what the question is. So, we gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many BBC Radio 2 presenters as they could. Richard, fill us in on those.
Yeah, we're looking for any current presenter or DJ on Radio 2. There are 50 names on the list. It's a fairly broad church, but they've got to be current DJs or presenters.
You now have up to 1 minute to come up with 3 answers. All you need to win that £1,250 is for just one of those answers to be pointless. Your 60 seconds starts now.
We've got to go for the ones that are really hard to get. So the likes of Chris Evans and Terry Wogan, we're not going to use those.
Correct.
What about something like Mark Commode or what's the guy from Mark and Lard? Mark Radcliffe.
Yeah.
Ooh, come on.
What about Whispering Bob Harris?
Is he still on?
Yeah, he's still on.
Yeah, OK. Cool.
We've got 32 seconds left, mate. So, OK, so Whispering Bob Harris.
30 seconds.
Yeah. Whispering Harris. We'll go for Mark Kermode.
Yeah.
And...
Are you definitely sure about him, yeah?
Yeah.
OK.
And we'll also go for...
Ali Jones.
Good one.
Ow. Right,
Yeah.
so Ali Jones. Ali Jones.
Mark
Whispering Bob
Kermode and Whispering Bob Harris.
Brilliant. Have you got your 3 answers?
Yeah.
We do have our 3.
Fantastic. We can stop the clock there. OK, those 3 answers are?
Whispering Bob Harris, Mark Kermode,
and Ali Jones.
Let's put them up on the board. We are looking for BBC Radio 2 presenters. OK. This for the jackpot of £1,250. One of these answers has to be pointless. Let's put your first answer to our 100 people. How many of our 100 people said Bob Harris? For £1,250. Whispering Bob Harris. Down it goes. That means 5 of our 100 people said Bob Harris, so unfortunately that is not a pointless answer. You only have 2 more chances. OK, let's put your second one to the test. Mark Kermode. Let's hope none of our 100 people said Mark Kermode. We are looking for BBC Radio 2 presenters. This for the jackpot of £1,250. You've had 1 chance. This is your second. Mark Kermode. Oh, no! Unfortunately, that is an incorrect answer. So that means it is not a pointless answer. So you only have 1 final chance to win today's jackpot. We are looking for BBC Radio 2 presenters. We've really got to hope that none of our 100 people said your third answer of Aled Jones. Let's see. This is your third and final chance at the jackpot of £1,250. You confident? Who would have thought? All your hopes were resting with Aled Jones.
If we win, we'll be walking in the air.
Yes, you will. I should think you will. Okay, let's see how many of our 100 people said Aled Jones. This is your final chance to win £1,250. Has to be pointless. It's a correct answer. For £1,250. Is it good enough? Aled Jones, it has to be pointless. It is! Well done! Congratulations! You managed to find that all-important pointless answer. That means you go home with the jackpot of £1,250. Well done.
Thank you very much.
You are walking on air.
I love you. I know. To kiss you both heads. I know, you shall. You shall. You shall.
Yeah, you didn't. You'd done it there, did you?
No.
Who was the other one you'd thought of?
Desmond Carrington.
I bet he was pointless. Aled Jones, it doesn't matter though. Aled Jones has done it for you. Brilliant. Mark Kermode, that was harsh.
Yeah. Is he Radio 1? Must be Radio 1.
Maybe he's Radio 1.
Yeah.
Oh, dear. Well, let's find out. Richard.
Well, actually, Mark Kermode's more usually Radio 5 with Simon Mayo. I think you might even talk about Mark Radcliffe, because you were talking about him during the 60 seconds.
Yeah.
So Desmond Carrington would have been pointless, but who cares, because Aled Jones presents Good Morning Sunday on Radio 2, but none of our 100 people knew that.
Well, you've done that really well. That was fantastic. You structured it so beautifully there with Aled Jones, your final choice, and also the pointless answer you needed to win the jackpot. So, guys, well done. You've been fantastic. Goodbye. Thank you. So, Graham and Bob won today's jackpot. Join us next time when we put more obscure knowledge and forgotten facts to the test on Pointless. Meanwhile, goodbye from Richard.
Goodbye.
And goodbye from me. Thank you very much. Hello, I'm Alexander Armstrong, and this is Pointless, the quiz show where the lowest scorers are the biggest winners. To stay in the game, our contestants need to score as few points as possible. How do they score as few points as possible? Well, they need to come up with the most obscure answers they can muster. We've asked all our questions on Pointless to 100 people before the show. Could you plumb the depths of your knowledge to find those elusive answers that no one else could think of? So, for example, we gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many Disney animated feature films as they could, and we found out that 71 of them said Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, an obvious answer that would score you a horribly high 71 points. However, only 36 of them said Pinocchio, a less obvious film that would score you a respectably low 36 points. Occasionally, there are even some answers that none of our 100 people could name. So, for example, none of them said Brother Bear. So that would have been a truly pointless film. And that would score you absolutely nothing. See, that's just what you want. And if you find any of those, then we will add £250 to today's jackpot. So let's start by meeting today's players. Rick and Anthony, welcome back. We gave everybody 2 chances to reach the Pointless final, and today is your final chance. Can you remind us where you're from and how you 2 know each other?
Well, Anthony and I were professional musicians in the same band together. He joined in 1969. We've been best mates ever since.
So remind us how you did last time.
We didn't do too bad until we got to the modern question. I might have the figure, but we didn't have the answers.
Absolutely right. Yes, Kylie Minogue did for you. Oh, dear. Well, very best of luck to you this afternoon. On to our second pair, James and Joe. Welcome to the show. How do you 2 know each other?
We are brother and sister.
Who's the older one? Who's the younger one? Can I ask that?
I'm the older one.
Very good.
I'm 2 years older.
OK. Who do you think is better at general knowledge and obscure facts?
We'll tell you in about half an hour.
OK. Look forward to finding out. David and Jamie, you are our third pair today. Welcome to the show. How do you 2 know each other?
We grew up in the same village, and we currently play on the same quiz team together.
Very good. Where's the village?
The village is in... we grew up in Shepley in West Yorkshire, near Huddersfield.
Well, best of luck to you this afternoon. And on to our fourth pair. We welcome back Matt and Dave. This is your second and final chance on Pointless. Remind us who you are.
Well, this is my colleague Matt. We work together as accountants in Southampton.
How did you get on in the last show?
We got to the head-to-head, so close, but not close enough.
Very close, but not quite close enough. Well, better luck this afternoon. Let's hope you make it all the way to the final. And welcome back to Catherine and Deanne. This is your second and final time on the show too. Remind us how you two know each other.
We are both teachers in the same school, and Deanne is also the sound person for my band that I'm in.
We could put you and Rick and Anthony together afterwards.
They reminded me. I know.
You could play us out at the end of the show.
No.
In fact, could? You will. You will. Well, best of luck for this afternoon. Of course, there is one final person I have to introduce to you all. He is the man with all the pointless facts and figures. He's my pointless friend. It's Richard. So, Richard, how are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
You, and only you, know what sort of show we have this afternoon.
Yeah, I've got all the questions here. I've got all the answers here as well. At the end of each question, I'll be going through all the pointless answers. Those are the questions that none of our 100 people mentioned. So if you're playing along at home, you'll find out exactly how you've done there. I'll also go through some of the sort of obvious answers, you know, the answers with loads and loads of points. I'll point out you don't know any of the answers on today's show or any of the questions. You're absolutely in the dark.
Last time, Graham and Bob won the jackpot of £1,250. So today's jackpot total starts off again at £1,000. But remember, if you find some pointless answers along the way, each one of those will add £250 to that amount. Let's play Pointless. So, in the first round, each of you must give me one answer, and you cannot confer with your partner. You'll score 1 point for every one of the 100 people that gave that same answer. And remember, this is pointless. So you are trying to find the least well-known answers and score the fewest points. If anyone gives me an incorrect answer, they will, I'm afraid, score the maximum of 100 points, so do be careful. If you do give an incorrect answer, this will happen. You really don't want to see that. At the end of the round, your combined score will be totalled up, and the highest scoring pair will be eliminated. Only 2 pairs, obviously, can make it through to our head-to-head semi-final, so the pressure is really on. OK, our first category this afternoon is film. Film. OK, can you decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, let's find out what our first question is going to be. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many feature films starring Bruce Willis as they could. Richard, elaborate.
Well, how many feature films do you think Bruce Willis has made
9
in his career? More than 9?
19.
51.
Oh.
What we're looking for are feature films made for cinema release in which Bruce Willis is credited as an actor. No TV films, no short films, nothing that's yet to be released, and nothing where he appears as himself, but voice performances do count.
Right, Rick and Anthony, before the show you all drew lots, and today it turns out you will be starting us off. Rick, what's it going to be?
I'll try and box clever. Die Hard 3.
Die Hard 3. OK, remember, you are looking to score as few points as possible. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Die Hard 3. That's a correct answer. That means 46 out of our 100 people said Die Hard 3. Richard, Die Hard 3.
Yeah, Die Hard 3, otherwise known as Die Hard with a Vengeance.
On to our second pair. Joe, what are you going to say?
Not really a fan of Bruce Willis films, struggling to think of one, to be honest. I'm going to say The Sixth Sense.
The Sixth Sense. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Sixth Sense. It's good. Not bad. Really not bad. That means 15 of our 100 people said Sixth Sense. That gives Joe and James a nice early low score of 15. OK, Jamie and David, we are looking for feature films starring Bruce Willis. The more obscure, the better, remember?
Seeing as Die Hard 3 got a reasonable score, tried Die Hard 4, hope people forgot about it.
You're going to go with Die Hard 4?
Yes.
Let's see how many of our 100 people said Die Hard 4. Well, it's correct. It's not bad. That means 26 of our 100 people said Die Hard 4. That gives Jamie and David a score of 26. Richard, Die Hard 4.
Yeah, Die Hard 4, or also otherwise known as Die Hard 4.0.
OK, on to our fourth pair. Dave and Matt. Dave, what are you going to say?
I think Bruce Willis is in the film that I'm thinking of, and that film is Hostage.
Hostage. OK, well, let's hope he is in that film. If he isn't, I'm afraid you will score the maximum of 100 points. But if he is, let's see how many of our 100 people said it. Hostage. It's good. Ooh, it's very good. Oh! Ho, ho. That means only one person out of our 100 people said hostage. Oh, it's almost cruel to be that close to a pointless, isn't it? But congratulations all the same. That's a great low score. And finally, on to our final pair. Catherine, we are looking for feature film starring Bruce Willis.
Film that I've got on the tip of my tongue, I'm not even sure whether this is the name of it. So it's a massive gamble, this. But I'm just going to do it.
Go on.
I'm going to. I think this film is called Invincible.
You think it's called Invincible? If it's a wrong answer, you will score 100 points. Let's see. Invincible. Oh, bad luck. Unfortunately, that is a wrong answer. That means you do score the maximum of 100 points. OK, well, we are halfway through the round. Let's have a look at the scores on the board. Matt and Dave looking fantastic there with only one. That's a fantastically low score. Catherine and Deanne, you took a big gamble there. Bad luck, it didn't pay off, and you are now our highest scorers on 100. Now we're going to come back up the line. Can the second players please take their places at the podium? We are looking for feature films starring Bruce Willis, Deanne.
I'll go with a gamble.
I think you're going to have to.
And it'll be Toy Story.
Toy Story. OK, if it is wrong, you will score another 100 points. Go out in a blaze of glory, why not? Let's see how many of our 100 people said Toy Story. In a blaze of glory.
Completely.
Unfortunately, that is a wrong answer. That means you score the maximum of 100 points. You are now on 200 points. You did what you had to do. You know, in order to try and find a pointless, you've got to be as obscure as you possibly can, and that means you do sometimes risk of just being a little bit too obscure. So obscure it is, in fact, wrong. So that means you will be the pair leaving at the end of this round because you are at 200. All our remaining pairs, even if they score the maximum possible of 100 points, they won't overtake your high score of 200. But, remaining pairs, I bet there are some pointless movies that Bruce Willis has made. If you can find them, each one will add £250 to our jackpot. So, moving on to our next pair. Matt, you are currently on 1. You are safe. Give us a pointless Bruce Willis film.
I'm a little bit ashamed to admit this, but I do believe that Bruce Willis was in a cameo at the start of Charlie's Angels 2 Full Throttle.
I really hope he is. Let's see. How many of our 100 people said Charlie's Angels 2 Full Throttle? Oh, no!
He had part of a ring called Halo, which was taken from him at the beginning of the film.
I'm going to hand to the man with all the pointless facts and figures, Richard.
He was briefly in at the beginning, but he's not credited. He's not credited as an actor in that film.
He's not credited?
Yeah, he's not credited, I'm afraid. I did say at the beginning it's got to be a film for which he is credited.
OK.
Anyway, that gives you a total of 101. OK, on to David and Jamie. We are looking, in case you'd forgotten, for feature films starring Bruce Willis. The more obscure, the better, but not that obscure.
I'm hoping it is going to be obscure. I have a vague recollection, I think it was called this. Was he in a film called Grand Champion?
Grand Champion. Let's find out. How many of our 100 people said Grand Champion? Well, it's a correct answer. Well, it's good. It's very good. And it is a pointless. That means that none of our 100 people said Grand Champion, and it adds £250 to today's jackpot, which now stands at £1,250. Well done. On to James and Joe. James, what are you going to say?
Well, no pressure now following that. I think he was in Pulp Fiction.
OK, let's see how many of our 100 people said Pulp Fiction. It's the right answer. It's good. Very good. That means 7 of our 100 people said Pulp Fiction. That brings your total up to 22. Anthony, we are looking, in case you'd forgotten, for feature films starring Bruce Willis.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Is it either The Last Boy Scout or The Last Man Standing?
You're going to have to pick one, because I can't, I'm afraid. I'm not allowed to. I know, it's unfair, isn't it?
It's unfair. Let's go for definitely Unbreakable, then.
You're going to go for?
Unbreakable.
Unbreakable.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Let's see how many of our 100 people said Unbreakable. Oh, it's good. It's very good. Look at that. Fantastic. Good work, Anthony. That means 6 of our 100 people said Unbreakable. That brings your total up to 52. So, at the end of round 1, the losing pair with the highest score is Catherine and Deanne. Bad luck. That was really bad luck.
That was the one I meant. It was there, and I could see it on a poster.
I still meant Toy Story, though. So.
Oh, well. Richard, what should they have said?
I think Unbreakable was what you meant by Invincible, and yet it was Tom Hanks and Tim Allen who plays Buzz Lightyear in Toy Story. Now, Anthony, when you were going for a pointless then, you mentioned Last Man Standing. If you'd said that, you would have added £250 to the jackpot. That was a pointless answer. And, of course, pointless answers are those answers that none of our 100 people gave. It's a whole lot of pointless Bruce Willis movies. Who knew? Let's take a look at a few of them. Assassination of a High School President. Hearts War, What Just Happened, that was out last year, where he refuses to shave off his beard. Breakfast of Champions, Colour of Night, and we've had Grand Champion, which is a fantastic answer. Should we take a look at the worst answers you could have come up with? 4th worst answer was Die Hard 4. The 3rd worst answer is Die Hard with a Vengeance, Die Hard 3. 2nd worst answer, Die Hard 2. And I wish I could say that this wasn't the case, but it is Die Hard 1. The worst answer of all, the worst answer you could have given.
Well, there we are. Thanks, Rich. Catherine and Deanne, that was your second and final chance on the show. You clearly just don't have that pointless Bruce Willis knowledge you needed to get through to the final. So I'm afraid we have to say goodbye, but thank you so much for playing. For the remaining 4 pairs, though, it's time for round 2. OK, guys, the round 2 category is literature. Literature. OK, can you decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second?
Okay,
and whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. Now, remember, Pointless is all about scoring the fewest points possible. So you have to rack your brains for those obscure and unheard of answers that you think the fewest of our 100 people said. With that in mind, let's find out what the question is for round 2. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many Shakespeare comedies as they could. Can you be any more specific, Richard?
Yeah, I can see we're all laughing already thinking of some of the one-liners that guy came up with. We're looking for any of the plays listed in Shakespeare's first folio of 1623 under comedies. So we're not looking for tragedies like Romeo and Juliet or histories like Richard III, just one of the comedies. There are 14 in the first folio.
Thanks, Richard. Rick and Anthony, you are starting us off. Shakespeare comedies, Rick.
We'll have a stab at Taming of the Shrew.
Taming of the Shrew. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Taming of the Shrew. It's a correct answer. It's good. Very good. That means 16 of our 100 people said Taming of the Shrew. That kicks Rick and Anthony off with a lovely low score of 16 to start our second round. James and Joe. James, Shakespeare comedies. What are you going to give me?
I'll have a complete stab in the dark at A Midsummer Night's Dream.
Let's see how many of our 100 people have said Midsummer Night's Dream. It's a correct answer. Not bad. That means 46 of our 100 people said A Midsummer Night's Dream. OK, Jamie,
Yes.
What are you going to give me?
Well, I'm not strictly sure it's a comedy, but they must be quite merry, so I'm going to go for The Merry Wives of Windsor.
Let's see how many of our 100 people said The Merry Wives of Windsor. Down it goes. It's good. It's very good. Well done, Jamie. That means only 5 of our 100 people said The Merry Wives of Windsor. On to our final pair. Dave, We are looking for Shakespeare comedies. What are you going to say?
I'm going to say Twelfth Night.
Let's see how many of our 100 people said Twelfth Night. That's a correct answer. It's another good one. Very good. That means 10 of our 100 people said Twelfth Night, and we are now halfway through the round. Let's see how we're doing on the scoreboard. Well, David and Jamie are looking fantastically strong there on 5. Keep up that low scoring and you'll definitely be through to the next round. James and Joe on 46. You're way ahead there. You're going to be very vulnerable. You've got to try and score as low as you possibly can, Joe, on the next pass and hope everyone else scores high. OK, we're going to come back down the line. Will the second players please take their places at the podium? OK, Matt, we are looking for Shakespeare comedies. You are currently on 10. The high scorers at the moment are Joe and James on 46. So if you want to avoid becoming the high scorers and risk being eliminated at the end of the round, your target is 35 or less.
I'm going for one which I've not read, but I believe is a comedy, and I think it, well, I know it's As You Like It. As You Like It. There is the red line, below that red line, and you are straight through to the next round. Let's see how many of our 100 people said As You Like It. It's good. It's good. You're safe. That means 25 out of our 100 people said As You Like It. That takes your total up to 35. You're definitely in the next round. OK, David, you are currently on 5. The high scorers are still Joe and James on 46. You have to score 40 or less if you want to avoid becoming the new high scorers. We are looking for Shakespeare comedies.
I don't know if it's a comedy, but I'll go for Coriolanus.
OK, if it is a wrong answer, you will score the maximum of 100 points. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Coriolanus. Unfortunately, that is a wrong answer, which means you score the maximum of 100 points. Richard, Coriolanus.
Yeah, David, Coriolanus, I'm afraid, is a tragedy, particularly for you. That's bad luck.
So that gives you a score of 105. OK, Joe and James, you've been thrown a lifeline by David and Jamie there. You were the highest scorers on 46. To avoid becoming the highest scorers again, you have to score 58 or less with this answer. We are looking for Shakespeare comedies, Joe. What are you going to give me?
I'm going to say All's Well That Ends Well.
Let's see how many of our 100 people said All's Well That Ends Well. You're through. It's good. Oh! That means only 2 people out of our 100 said All's Well That Ends Well. That brings your total up to 48. OK, Anthony, you are currently on 16. To avoid being thrown off at the end of the round, you want to be scoring 88 or less. Anything over that, and you would overtake David and Jamie's high score of 105. We are looking for Shakespeare comedies.
The Merry Widow?
The Merry Widow. Mm-hmm. If it is incorrect, you will score the maximum of 100 points. Let's see how many of our 100 people said it. The Merry Widow. Oh. Bad luck. Unfortunately, that is a wrong answer, which means you score the maximum of 100 points. That's great news for David and Jamie. Richard, The Merry Widow.
It sounds like the sort of thing he would have written, but
yeah.
He didn't.
And it sounds like The Merry Wives of Windsor.
It does sound a lot like The Merry Wives of Windsor. It starts with The Merry W. It's got that in common.
Yeah. What answers should they have gone for if they'd wanted to stay
there were a few obscure answers. There was one pointless answer, Winter's Tale. Winter's Tale was the pointless one. Measure for Measure would have got you 1 point, and The Two Gentlemen of Verona got you 2 points, which is the same as Joe's All's Well That Ends Well, which is a brilliant answer. The worst answers you could have given, as so often we've already had a couple of them. Much Ado About Nothing was the third worst. And then Matt gave us As You Like It. And then James gave us A Midsummer Night's Dream, but saved by Joe. So All's Well That Ends Well there.
Thanks, Richard. Rick and Anthony, sadly, that was your second and final chance on the show. You just didn't have that pointless Shakespearean knowledge you needed to get through to the finals. I'm afraid we have to say goodbye, but thanks so much for playing. Thank you. For the remaining 3 pairs, though, it's time for round 3. Now, obviously, only 2 pairs will make it through to the head-to-head, so this is your final chance. All of you need to find those low-scoring answers to stay in the game. The round 3 category is sport. There you are, sport. So who's going to go first? Who's going to go second?
I'm going for it.
And whoever's going first, will they please step up to the podium? Right, let's find out what the question's going to be. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many FIFA World Cup winners and runners-up as they could. Richard, fill in the blanks.
Yeah, this is any team who've appeared in a FIFA World Cup final, that's just the final, since 1930.
OK, remember, you need to score the fewest points. So you need to give the answer that the fewest of our 100 people said. Joe, you are first up. Come on. Let's find a really obscure finalist in the FIFA World Cup.
Brazil.
I don't know what they mean. OK, let's see how many of our 100 people said Brazil. Remember, we're looking for a really obscure answer that no one will have thought of. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Brazil.
Better than I think.
Not bad. That means 79 of our 100 people said Brazil. That gives Joe and James a worryingly high score of 79 to kick off our 3rd round. Jamie, what are you going to say? We are looking for FIFA World Cup winners and runners-up.
Well, this is more my domain, but I'm hoping I'm not taking too much of a risk by saying, as it were, then Czechoslovakia.
Czechoslovakia. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Czechoslovakia. It's a correct answer. Down it comes. It's good. Very good. That's almost the best. That means only 2 of our 100 people said Czechoslovakia. That puts Jamie and David into a promising lead at this early stage. On to Matt. What are you going to say? We are looking for FIFA World Cup winners and runners-up.
I am going to go for Uruguay.
Uruguay. OK, let's see how many of our 100 people said Uruguay. It's good. It's another good one. That means 23 of our 100 people said Uruguay, and we are now halfway through the round. Let's take a look at the scores. David and Jamie looking fantastic there on a low score of 2. James and Joe looking very vulnerable there on 79. You've got to score as low as you possibly can on the next pass and hope everyone else scores high. OK, we're going to come back down the line. Can the second players please take their places at the podium? We are looking for FIFA World Cup winners and runners-up. Dave, you are currently on 23. James and Joe riding high at 79. To avoid overtaking them and becoming the new high scorers, you have to score 55 or less.
Yep, I'm going to go for West Germany.
There is your red line coming in now. Below that red line, and you are definitely through to the next round. Above that red line, you become the high scorers and risk being eliminated at the end of the round. Let's see how many of our 100 people said West Germany. 77 of our 100 people said West Germany. That takes your total up to around 100. You are now the high scorers. You've got to hope everyone else scores high. Richard, West Germany.
Yeah, Germany and West Germany have appeared in the World Cup final. They're pressing 7 times. The bad news being they won it 3 times. The better news being they lost it 4 times.
OK, on to our next pair. David, you are our low scorers at the moment on 2. The high scorers are Dave and Matt on 100. To avoid overtaking them and becoming the high scorers, you have to score 97 or less. What are you going to say?
France.
You're going to say France. OK, how many of our 100 people said France? You're safe. Good enough. That means 62 of our 100 people said France. That takes your total to 64. You are definitely in the next round. OK, James and Joe. We are looking for FIFA World Cup winners and runners-up.
Football's not one of my strongest suits. I'm more a rugby man. But I've got to take a bit of a risk, really, so I'm going to guess at Holland.
You're going to guess at Holland. If it scores 20 or less, you will be going through to the next round. If it scores over 20, then I'm afraid you will be leaving at the end of this round. There is your red line. You have to be below there to remain in the game. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Holland. It's a correct answer. Oh! That means 30 of our 100 people said Holland, which brings your total up to 109. So at the end of round 3, the losing pair with the highest score is James and Joe. Bad luck. Not your strongest suit, as you'd said. Had it been rugby...
And I still would have done really badly.
Should have still said Brazil.
Well, it was still pretty close in the end. Only 9 points in it between the two pairs. Richard, what should they have said? Give them some ideas.
Well, there were no pointless answers, but there were 3 fairly obscure ones. Jamie gave us actually the best answer you possibly could, which is Czechoslovakia, who were the runners-up in 1934 and 1962. Hungary, who were the runners-up twice as well. That was in 1938 and 1954. And Sweden, who lost in the final to Brazil in 1958. So none of those teams won it, which is why they're slightly more obscure. Let's have a look at the top answers. A couple of these answers may be familiar already from what we've just seen. Third place was England. Surprisingly, you think they might be the worst answer, but just 74. Dave, you gave us Germany, West Germany. They were second, and the worst answer of all, though it's not, wasn't 100 points, was it? Was Joe's Brazil, 5 times winners.
Well, thanks, Richard. OK, James and Joe, you have wasted one of your chances to get through to the Pointless final, so we have to say goodbye to you for today. But we'll see you next time for your final chance. Thank you so much for playing. Great to have you on the show. But for the remaining 2 pairs, things are about to get even more exciting as we enter the head-to-head. So well done, Matt and Dave, David and Jamie. You've made it through to the head-to-head. Now, obviously, only one pair can make it through to today's final and play for today's jackpot, which currently stands at £1,250. OK, here's how the head-to-head works. You are now allowed to confer. Each team will take it in turns to give me an answer, and you'll each have an equal number of turns. The first team that accumulates more than 100 points, or the team that goes over 100 by the most, will lose. So, as always, to stay in the game, you want to come up with those facts and figures that everyone else forgets and score as few points as possible. David and Jamie, you performed best over the previous 3 rounds, so not only do you get to decide whether or not you go first, you also get to choose the topic. And you get to choose between British politics or the monarchy.
Yeah, well, I can go first. Yeah.
British politics, please.
British politics, and would you like to go first or second?
We'll go first, please.
And you'll go first. OK, let's play Pointless. Right, let's find out what the question is. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many parties that won seats at the 2005 general election as they could. Yeah, Richard, we really need your elaboration here, I think.
We are essentially looking for any political party who won a seat at the 2005 general election. Independents don't count, but there are 10 political parties who won seats at the 2005 general election.
OK, now remember, you don't want to go over 100, so you want to score the lowest number of points each time. What are those British political parties in the 2005 election that none of our 100 people gave? Right, David and Jamie, you wanted to go first?
Oh, go on. Yes, go on then.
Yeah. We're going to go for Sinn Féin.
Sinn Féin. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Sinn Féin. It's a correct answer. Very good. Good answer. That means 10 of our 100 people said Sinn Féin. Matt and Dave, your first answer, please.
Plaid Cymru?
You are going to go with Plaid Cymru. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Plaid Cymru. It's another good one.
That's the same 10.
Very good indeed. That means 11 of our 100 people said Plaid Cymru. That means, after one answer each, the scores are 11 to Matt and Dave and 10 to David and Jamie. It's very close. Now, David and Jamie, you need to be very careful now, because your next answer could possibly take you over 100 points, and you could risk leaving the game. So your next answer needs to score 90 or less. We are looking for British political parties in the 2005 election.
We've got a very, very dodgy one, but we're not going to go for just yet. So we'll go for Scottish National Party.
OK, let's see how many of our 100 people said the Scottish National Party. Good. You're safe. That means 31 of our 100 people said the Scottish National Party. That takes your score to 41 after your second answer. Matt and Dave, your second answer, please.
I'm not entirely convinced they won seats at the election, but I'm going to go for what I think is best. The Ulster Unionist Party.
The Ulster Unionist Party. You are currently on 11. To avoid going over 100, you have to score 89 or less with this. The Ulster Unionist Party, there is the red line. You have to be below that red line to avoid going over 100. Let's see how many of our 100 people said the Ulster Unionist Party. It's good. Very good. That means 5 of our 100 people said the Ulster Unionist Party. After your second answer, that takes your score to 16. So 2 answers apiece. David and Jamie are on 41. Matt and Dave are on 16. We are looking for British political parties in the 2005 election. David and Jamie, your third answer, please.
We need to take the risk after the answers the guys are giving.
I think George Galloway stood as the Liberty Party. So we'll go for that.
The Liberty Party.
Yeah.
You're currently on 41. You have to score 59 or less with this answer. If it is incorrect, of course, you will score the maximum of 100 points. Let's see how many of our 100 people said the Liberty Party.
Sorry, dear.
Unfortunately, that was an incorrect answer, and that scores you 100 points, taking your total up to 141. Matt and Dave, normally we'd ask you to give us another answer so that both teams have had an equal number of turns, but you've scored so few points, and David and Jamie are now so far ahead on 141 that even your maximum score wouldn't overtake their high score. So you are through to the pointless final. David and Jamie, though, that was tough. I thought that might be a pointless there.
Well, that's what we're going for.
Oh, well, Richard, put us out of our misery.
Well, George Galloway did win Bethnal Green and Bow in 2005, but for the Respect.
Respect. I knew it was one word.
And even worse than that, the Respect Party was actually a pointless answer. And, of course, pointless answers are those answers that none of our 100 people gave. There were a couple of other obscure ones, again from Northern Ireland. The SDLP, the Social Democratic and Labour Party, would have got you 1 point, and the DUP, the Democratic Unionist Party, would have got you 3. Let's take a look at the worst answers you could have given. In third, as always, it was the Lib Dems with 90. But in second place was the Conservatives, and most of all, with 99, it was the Labour Party. It's the worst answer you could have given.
Thanks very much, Richard. OK, David and Jamie, you've wasted one of your chances to get to the pointless final, so we have to say goodbye for today. But we will see you next time for your last chance. Thank you so much for playing. Thanks. But for Matt and Dave, it's time for our pointless final. So congratulations, Matt and Dave. You've fought off all the competition and you've won our coveted pointless trophy. Now you've got a chance to win our pointless jackpot. At the end of today's show, the jackpot stands at £1,250. OK, the rules are very simple. To win the money, all you have to do is find a pointless answer that none of our 100 people could think of. It's something only one person has done today, so let's hope you can find one more. First, though, you've got to choose a category from these 3 options. You can go for European politics, Australian movie stars, or golf. Is that funny?
Not golf.
Not golf.
Not golf. One of first.
What do you think? European politics.
European politics.
European politics, a bit close to home.
Yep.
European politics. Let's find out what the question is. So we gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many European countries with a president as they could. Richard.
Yeah, quite tricky this, I think. We're looking for any country, either wholly or even partly in Europe, which has a single president as its head of state. As always, by a country, we're talking about a member of the UN that's a sovereign state.
Right, you now have up to 1 minute to come up with 3 answers, and all you need to win that £1,250 is for just one of those answers to be pointless. OK, your 60 seconds begins now.
OK, well, it's not going to be France. And
France has got a president.
Yeah, it's got a president, but I'm saying it's going to be too popular. Germany's got a chancellor, Angela Merkel.
Yeah.
I don't actually know many more, but I think if we pick some relatively obscure European countries.
Well, it's not going to be those countries that have got monarchies who are going to rule out.
Rule out Spain?
Yeah, rule out Spain and some of the Nordic states.
Yeah.
Like Norway, Sweden.
Yeah.
Denmark, Holland.
30 seconds.
They're all going.
30 seconds, crikey.
Think of 3. I think smaller
Slovakia.
Eastern European.
I think Latvia's got a prime minister. I'm trying to think of Eastern Europe. I can't think of
15
go for like Greece.
Slovakia, Greece. And
Austria.
Yes.
Yeah.
OK, your time is up. We are looking for European countries with a president. What are the 3 answers you're going to go for?
We're very unhopeful about these. Slovakia, Austria and Greece.
Slovakia, Austria and Greece. OK, these are the 3 answers you've chosen in the hope of finding a pointless answer to win the jackpot of £1,250. OK, let's try your first answer, Slovakia. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Slovakia. Just to remind you, this has to be a pointless answer for you to win that jackpot. Slovakia.
Oh, it exists.
OK, it exists. That's half the battle. This is for the jackpot of £1,250. It's good! Just not good enough. 6 of our 100 people said that, so unfortunately that is not a pointless answer. Now you only have 2 more chances to win today's jackpot. We are looking for European countries with a president. Let's look at your next answer. Austria. Austria. Are you hopeful for Austria?
50-50 on that, I'm not sure.
OK, this has to be a pointless answer. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Austria. That's a correct answer. £1,250 are riding on this. Down it goes. But not far enough. I'm sorry, 14 of our 100 people gave that answer, so it is also not a pointless answer. You only have one final chance left to win today's jackpot. We are looking for European countries with a president. This has to be a pointless answer. Greece is your final answer. All your hope now rests in Greece. Let's hope none of our 100 people said Greece. Well, it's correct. £1,250 could be in it for you. It has to be a pointless answer. Unfortunately, you didn't manage to find that all-important pointless answer, and so I'm afraid you don't win today's jackpot of £1,250. However, you do get to take home our pointless trophy. That was a tough category, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was really tough. Any other ideas?
I'm now thinking Slovenia. I'm thinking of the Slows.
Richard, put them out of their misery.
Yeah, I thought that's really unlucky. You've been great contestants for 2 shows. You really have, like on category after category. This is a very, very tough one, I think. If you had said Slovenia, you'd be even more gutted because it won. That might have broken your hearts. A really, really tough category, which I shall now prove to you by showing you the 6 pointless answers. They were Armenia, Azerbaijan, Cyprus. I can't believe no one knows Azerbaijan has a president. What are we teaching our kids? And there's 3 others. There are only 6 pointless answers. Kazakhstan, of course, Moldova, and Montenegro. So a really, really tough category. If you've got any of those at home, congratulations.
Well, bad luck. As Richard says, you have been fantastic contestants, so thank you so much for playing. Goodbye to you, and thanks. So nobody has won our jackpot today. It therefore rolls over again, which means next time we will be playing for £2,250. Join us then to see if someone can win it on Pointless. Meanwhile, it's goodbye from Richard.
Goodbye.
And goodbye from me. Goodbye. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many countries with 5-letter names as they could. Richard, can you be more specific?
Yeah, I need you to pay very, very close attention. I need you to give me countries, and they've got to have 5 letters in their name. By countries, as always, we mean UN members, which are sovereign states. And those names have to be the English names of those countries, so the names we give them. There are 26 of them.
Thank you very much, Richard. So, Tori, what could be simpler? Countries with 5-letter names.
I can only think of 2, and they're not obscure. I'm going to say India.
India. A little country. But undoubtedly a country with 5 letters in its name. Let's see how many of our 100 people said India. It's a correct answer. Not bad. Not bad at all. Look at that. Wow! Astonishingly, that means only 16 of our 100 people said India. That gives you a respectable low score of 16. On to our next pair. Craig, a country with a 5-letter name. Really obscure one.
I'm not sure if it's a country, but I'd say Kenya.
Kenya. Very good. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Kenya. It's good. Down it comes. It's a good answer. Look at that. 2. On to our next pair. Ian, a country of 5 letters.
I think I'm going to go for Ghana.
Let's see how many of our 100 people said Ghana. It's a correct answer. It's going to be another good one, I think. Down it goes. Very good. That means only 9 of our 100 people said Ghana. And finally, David, a country with 5 letters in its name.
I'm going to have to go for the one that I think it's got the least amount of people. I'm going to have to go for Japan.
Let's see how many of our 100 people said Japan. It's the right answer. Not bad. That means 22 of our 100 people said Japan. Well, we are halfway through the round. Let's have a look at the scoreboard. Darren and Craig did fantastically well there with a lovely low score of 2. Neil and David, 22 is not a bad score, but the others have been so low. You're going to have to try and score as low as you possibly can, Neil, on the next pass. OK, we're going to come back down the line. Will the second players please take their places at the podium? Neil, we are looking for countries with 5-letter names. A really nice obscure one.
Well, unfortunately, Craig got the one that I was first thinking of. So we'll try, I hope it's a country, Libya.
Let's see how many of our 100 people said Libya. It's correct. It's good. It's very good. That means only 4 of our 100 people said Libya. That brings your total up to 26. Well done there, Neil. On to our next pair. Brian, you are currently on 9. To avoid overtaking Neil and David on 26, you want to score 16 or less with this answer. What are you going to give me? 5-letter named country.
I'm going to go for Chile.
There is your red line. It's a low red line because everyone is scoring low. If you are below that red line, you are through to the next round. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Chile. It's correct. Is it low enough? Yes, it is. Just. That means that 15 of our 100 people said Chile. That gives you a total of 24 and means you are definitely through to the next round. On to our next pair. Darren, you are currently on 2. To avoid overtaking Neil and David on 26, you have to give me an answer that scores you 23 or less. We are looking for countries with 5-letter names.
And I have to say China.
There's your red line. If you are below that red line, you are through to the next round. Let's see how many of our 100 people said China. That means 28 of our 100 people said China. That takes your score up to 30. You are now the high scorers. Great news for Neil and David there. You are now through to the next round. Nia and Tori, you've got it all to play for in this question. You are currently on 16, Nia. You have to score 13 or less to get through to the next round. We are looking for countries with 5-letter names.
I'm going to say Samoa.
Here's your red line. It's very low. If you get below that red line, you are definitely through to the next round. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Samoa. It's good. Down it comes. Oh, and you're on. That's great. That means only one person out of our 100 people said Samoa. That takes your total up to 17. At the end of round 2, the losing pair with the highest score is Darren and Craig.
Oh, well. Enjoyed.
Well, you did very well.
points anyway, so...
Well, you've done very well indeed. Richard, what answers should they have gone for?
Well, you couldn't have done a lot better than Nia with Samoa, which got 1 point, but there were 4 pointless answers. If we take a look at them, there'll be some people shouting these at the screen at home. Qatar, Palau, which is in the northern Pacific, and Nauru, which, God bless, is only 8 square miles and doesn't even have a capital. So, poor old Nauru. There are a lot of countries got 1, actually. If you've got any of these at home, well done. Yemen, Syria, Sudan, Samoa, Niger, Gabon, all of those were 1 point. But let's take a look at the most obvious answers. The third most obvious, Darren gave us, which is China. Now, Darren and Craig have been brilliant contestants. Just before you go, do you want to have a go at the 2 most obvious 5-letter countries?
Italy.
Italy is up there. Italy's number 2. And the worst answer of all?
Spain.
Spain. Well done. They're the 3 worst answers.
Thanks, Rich. Darren and Craig, that was your second and final chance on the show. I'm afraid you just didn't have that pointless 5-letter country knowledge you needed to get through. So I'm afraid we have to say goodbye, but thanks so much for playing.
Thank you very much.
We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many lines on the London tube map as they could. Richard, fill us in.
Yeah, we're looking for any of the 13 named lines on a London tube map. That's the one you pick up at any London station. We're not looking for the London Connections map, which has all the sort of main lines that go up and down the country. One other thing I would say is we won't accept the East London line because it's currently inactive.
OK, right. Terry and Laura. Lines on the London tube map. Terry.
We're going to go for the Hammersmith and City.
Hammersmith and City. Very good. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Hammersmith and City. It's correct. It's not bad. That means 30 of our 100 people said Hammersmith and City. That gives Terry and Laura a score of 30 to kick us off. Mina, a line on the London tube map.
I'm going to go with the District line.
Let's see how many of our 100 people said District line. Well, it's correct. That means 44 of our 100 people said the District line. That gives Mina and Deborah a score of 44. So on to our next pair, Mick and Martin. Mick, we are looking for lines on the London tube map.
I'm actually going to go for a line that's not actually a line on the map. It's a circle. So I'm going to go for the circle line.
Very good. Let's see how many of our 100 people said circle line. It's correct. That means 59 of our 100 people said the circle line. That makes Mick and Martin the current high scorers. OK, on to our final pair. Heather, what are you going to give me? I want a line on the London tube map. The more obscure, the better.
I think I'm going to go for the Northern line.
Very good, the Northern line. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Northern line. That means 64 of our 100 people said the Northern Line. That gives you the high score of 64. Well, we are halfway through the round. Let's see where we are. Heather and Davy looking quite vulnerable there on 64. It's not a terribly high score, but it is the highest score. Terry and Laura on 30. Not bad, I suppose. If you can keep up your low scores, find another obscure line on the map, then you should be through to the next round. But there's really everything to play for. The scores are pretty close. OK, we're going to come back down the line with the second players. Please step up to the podium. OK, we are looking for lines on the London tube map. Davy, you are the high scorers at the moment on 64. You've got to try and find a really obscure tube line, if you possibly can.
My knowledge of the lines, it's not great, but one sprang out there, and it was the Jubilee line.
Let's see how many of our 100 people said the Jubilee line. That means 52 of our 100 people said the Jubilee line. That brings your total up to 116. Martin, you are currently on 59. To avoid overtaking Davy and Heather on 116, you have to score 56 or less. If you are below that red line, you are definitely through to the next round. If you are above that red line, you become our high scorers and risk being eliminated. What are you going to give me?
The only one I can think, apart from two other obvious ones, would be the Metropolitan.
The Metropolitan line. Let's see how many of our 100 people said the Metropolitan line. It's good enough. That means 31 of our 100 people said the Metropolitan line. That takes your total up to 90 points. You are through to the next round. OK, Deborah, lines on the London tube map. You want to be scoring 71 or less to avoid becoming the high scorers and risk being eliminated.
I'm going to go for the Bakerloo line.
The Bakerloo line. Let's see how many of our 100 people said the Bakerloo line. Good enough. Very good. That means 46 of our 100 people said the Bakerloo line. That takes your total up to 90 points. You're exactly the same as Mick and Martin. You are through to the next round. OK, Laura. You are currently on 30. To avoid overtaking our high scorers, Davy and Heather, you have to score 85 or less with this answer.
I'm just going to go for a more obvious one, which I hope isn't worth 85, is the Victoria line.
The Victoria line. OK, here's your red line. Below that red line, and you're through to the next round. Above it, you are off the show. Let's see how many of our 100 people did say the Victoria line. It's good. Bad news for Heather and Davy. That means 47 of our 100 people said the Victoria line. That brings your total up to 77 points. You are through to the next round. So at the end of round two, the losing pair with the highest score is Heather and Davy. Bad luck, you see. If we'd had Belfast bus routes, you see. Richard, what answers should they have gone for?
There was actually one pointless answer. It's a little bit of a cheat, but it is on the map, which is the Overground, which is 4 different lines that go from essentially from Richmond in the south up to Watford in the north. The Docklands Light Railway would have got you 14 points. So they have driverless trains. You can sit up the front and pretend to be the driver if you like to do that, which I do. Yeah. And 29 points. The next most obscure was Waterloo and City, which goes between Waterloo and Bank Station. Let's take a look at the most obvious answers, the worst answers you could have given. Heather, you gave us Northern. That scored you 64 points. Equal with that was the Central line, which also would have got you 64 points. And the most obvious of all was the Piccadilly line, would have got you 73 points.
Thanks, Richard. OK, Heather and Davy, you've wasted one of your chances to get to the pointless final. We have to say goodbye to you for today. We'll see you next time for your last chance. Thanks so much for playing. Armstrong, and this is Pointless, the quiz show where the lowest scorers are the biggest winners. To stay in the game, our contestants need to score as few points as possible. How do you score as few points as possible? Well, you need to come up with the most obscure answers you can muster. Every single question on Pointless has been asked to 100 people before the show. Can you plumb the depths of your knowledge to find those elusive answers that no one else could think of? So, for example, we gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many capital cities of Europe as they could, and we found out that 93 of them said London, an obvious answer that would score you a horribly high 93 points. However, only 40 of them said Lisbon, a lesser-known capital city that would score you a respectably low 40 points. Occasionally, there are even some answers that none of our 100 people could name. So, for example, none of them said San Marino. So that would have been a truly pointless capital city that would score you absolutely nothing. So, brilliant. That's what you want. So, let's meet today's players. It's friends, Gail and Marika. Welcome back. It's your second and last chance on the show, so remind us how you did last time.
Well, we got to the semi-final, so we were really surprised and, well, proud of ourselves for doing that well.
Well, best of luck today. Hope you do better.
Thanks.
Brian and Philip, welcome back. It's also your second and last chance on the show. Remind us how you did last time.
I think we got knocked out in the third round.
What was it that did for you?
Cluedo.
Yes, you see.
Yes.
You should stay in more.
I have been.
Well, welcome back and best of luck this afternoon. Sue and Sandra, welcome back. You are also here for your second and last chance on the show. You only made it to round 1 yesterday. You hoping to do a bit better this time?
That's right, we're hoping to go all the way to the second round.
I'm sure you'll do better than that. Anyway, best of luck. Hope you do much better today.
Thank you.
And our fourth pair today, mother and son, Mohammed and Rabina. How did you get on in the last show?
We got to the second round yesterday. We got done over by ABBA.
You got done over by ABBA. It's not the last time it'll happen, I'm sure. Best of luck. And finally, we've got Phil and Wendy. Welcome to the show. This is your first time. How do you two know each other?
Boyfriend and girlfriend.
Boyfriend and girlfriend.
Boyfriend.
You're the boy. Obviously, he said. Very good. OK, well, best of luck this afternoon. I hope you do very well indeed. There's one final person I need to introduce to you all, and he is the keeper of all the pointless facts and figures. He is my pointless friend. It's Richard. So, Richard, what have we got lined up this afternoon?
Well, as you say, what I've got here is I've got all the answers to all of our questions. So at the end of each round, I'll go through all the pointless answers. Those are the answers that nobody in our 100 got at all. I'll also go through some of the more obvious answers, you know, the kind of things that would actually score you a huge amount of points, the things you need to stay away from. I think it's worth pointing out that you don't know any of the questions that are coming up on today's show at all. They're as much of a surprise to you as they are to the contestants. So if there's anything you need to know at any point in the show, I'd like to think you would come to me.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much, Richard. Yesterday's finalists, Hugo and Jonathan, failed to win the jackpot of £1,750. We're adding another £1,000. So today's jackpot total is £2,750. Try and find some pointless answers along the way, as each one of those will add £250 to that amount. So, let's play Pointless. In the first round, each of you must give me one answer, and you cannot confer with your partner. You will score 1 point for every one of those 100 people that gave that same answer. And remember, this is pointless, so you're trying to find the least well-known answers and score the fewest points. If anyone gives me an incorrect answer, I'm afraid they will score the maximum 100 points, so do be careful. If you give an incorrect answer, this will happen. Yeah, you really don't want to see that. At the end of the round, your combined score will be totalled up and the highest scoring pair will be eliminated. Only 2 pairs will make it through to our head-to-head semi-final, so the pressure is really on. Our first category is politics. Yippee, they're all saying. OK, so can you decide in your pairs who is going to go first? Once you've made your minds up, please, could the first person step up to the podium? So, we gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many Prime Ministers of the UK since 1900 as they could. Richard, can you be more specific than that?
Hard to be too much more specific. Any Prime Minister of the UK in any year since 1900, there have been 21 of them. Essentially, you just need to name a pointless politician, which shouldn't be too hard.
Right, OK. Gail and Marita, before the show, you all drew lots, and today it turns out that you will be starting us off. OK, Gail, give me the most pointless Prime Minister you can think of.
There's a few. I would possibly go for John Major, because he's quite forgettable.
OK, well, you're looking to score as few points as possible. Let's see how many of our 100 people said John Major. That's a correct answer. 69. That means 69 of our 100 people said John Major. In any other quiz, that would be a fantastic answer to give, 69. But this is pointless, where you want to score as few points as possible. On to our next pair. Brian, who are you going to go with?
Well, I'm just guessing that the more recent ones will be the most popular, so I'm going to go back and go for Campbell Bannerman.
Campbell Bannerman. Well, very well-known Prime Minister there, but let's see how many of our 100 people remembered him. Campbell Bannerman. It's good. Very good, very good. Very good. Well, that means that none of our 100 people said Campbell Bannerman, and it adds £250 to today's jackpot.
Richard? Yeah, he was the Liberal Prime Minister from 1905 to 1908. He's the only Prime Minister to die in residence at number 10.
On to our next pair. Sue?
I'm going to try for Harold Wilson.
OK, we're looking for British Prime Ministers since 1900. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Harold Wilson. 51. Just over half of them said Harold Wilson. Well, you're safe for now. 69 is the current high score from Gail and Marita. Mohammed, on to you.
This is my best subject. I might not get pointless, but I think I'll get a really low one. I'm guessing you asked a lot of people, and there's two I've got in my mind.
We asked 100.
I'm guessing not a lot of people said it, but I think about some might have. James Callaghan.
Let's see how many of our 100 people said James Callaghan. Oh! Well, Mohammed, as you predicted, some of our people did get James Callaghan, but 28 is a reasonably good score, nice and low. On to our new pair. Wendy, who are you going to go with?
OK, I'm going to go with Winston Churchill.
Winston Churchill. Remember, we need the lowest score possible. But OK. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Winston Churchill. Oh! 80. That means 80 of our 100 people said Winston Churchill. We are halfway through the round. Let's see where we are. Brian and Philip, you're doing incredibly well, with the lowest possible score of nothing. But Phil and Wendy, things aren't looking as good for you, as you've got the highest number of points there with 80. On any other game show, as I say, that would be doing pretty well, but this is pointless, where you're looking to score as little as possible. If it stays that way, you could be leaving the show at the end of this round. So we're going to come back up the line. Can the second players please take their places at the podium? OK, Phil, it's your turn. You are the current high scorers of 80, so you've got to try and keep your score this time as low as possible. And we are looking for British Prime Ministers since 1900. You've got to think of the most obscure one you can.
Been having a good think. Obviously, the obvious ones are the ones I keep away from, so I'm going to go for the person who succeeded Winston Churchill, Clement Attlee.
Clement Attlee. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Clement Attlee. It's a correct answer. Good. 16. Very good. Well, that takes your total up to 96. Richard?
Yeah, Clement Attlee, the post-war Labour Prime Minister, he defeated Churchill, he introduced the NHS and he granted independence to India. You know, that beats introducing a swine flu hotline.
Well, you're still the highest scorers. You've got to hope there are some other high scores to come. Rabina, who are you going to go for?
David Lloyd George.
So you're going to go for Lloyd George. The highest score currently is 96. To guarantee that you go through to round 2, you need to score 67 or less. This red line, that is your safety line. If you are below that red line, you are definitely in the next round. Above that red line, you risk being eliminated. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Lloyd George. It's the right answer. It's good. Very good. Very good. That takes your total up to 51. You're comfortably below the current high score of 96, so you're definitely in the next round. Sandra, the highest current score is Phil and Wendy on 96. So you want to be scoring 44 or less to be absolutely certain of going on. There's the line. There's the line. You want to be below that.
I don't think I can afford to play it safe, so I'm going to take a gamble with a name that's in my head. I'm going to go for Neville Chamberlain.
We're looking for a UK Prime Minister since 1900. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Neville Chamberlain. It's the right answer. You're safe. Very good. Very good. Your total then goes up to 68. Richard?
Yeah, Neville Chamberlain, he was the Conservative Prime Minister from 1937 to 1940. Most famously, just after meeting Hitler, he declared peace for our time. He's the sort of the man who turned down the Beatles of politics.
So, Philip and Brian, on to you. What are you going to go with?
I'm going to go with Harold Macmillan.
Well, 96 is the highest score. I think you're going to be safe there. You have a margin of 95. 95 or less, just to remind you, that's where it is there. Let's see how many people went with Harold Macmillan. Oh, 29. That means 29 of our 100 people said Harold Macmillan, taking your total up to 29, because of course you had a pointless on the first pass. Marita, the current highest score is 96, which means you'll need to score 26 or less to get through to the next round. We're looking for a UK Prime Minister since 1900. This red line is your safety line. If you come in below that red line, you are definitely through to the next round.
Right. Well, every single Prime Minister I've ever heard of, these guys have said it. Do you know what? I'm just going to, do you know what? We're out anyway, so I'm just going to go with Gordon Brown.
Go with Gordon Brown. Well, let's see if any of our 100 people thought of Gordon Brown. Oh, bad luck. That means 91 people out of our 100 people said Gordon Brown. You had 69, you now have 160. That's bad news for you, but great news for Phil and Wendy. You're now staying in the game. That's the end of round 1, and the losing pair with an appallingly high score of 160, I'm sorry, are Gail and Marita. Richard, if they'd wanted to stay on, what answer should they have gone for?
Well, there were 4 pointless answers. We've already had Henry Campbell-Bannerman from Brian. You could have had Arthur Balfour, and if anybody at home is screaming Robert Gascoigne Cecil at the television set, congratulations, that's pointless too, the Marquis of Salisbury.
And who were the most popular? I'm guessing we had Winston Churchill there. I can't imagine
You know what? Churchill was 4th. Gordon Brown was 3rd. Tony Blair beat Brown once again. He was 2nd. And the most memorable Prime Minister, 100 people mentioned, Margaret Thatcher.
Margaret Thatcher. Of course, how many people got her? 97?
97.
97. Well, fancy. Well, thanks very much for that, Richard. Gail and Marita, that was your second and final chance on the show. You just didn't have the pointless knowledge you needed to win. So I'm afraid we do have to say goodbye. But for the remaining 4 pairs, it's time for round 2. OK, guys, the round 2 category is film. Film. So can you decide amongst yourselves who's going to go first and who's going to go second? OK, right, whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. Now remember, Pointless is all about scoring the fewest points possible, so you're looking for the answers the fewest of our 100 people said. So, we gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many films directed by Steven Spielberg as they could. Can you be more specific than that, Richard?
Yeah, this is films where Spielberg is credited as director, cinema releases, so no TV movies, no short films, no documentaries. And looking down the list, I think this is quite a hard category. There are plenty of pointless answers out there, though. He's made plenty of pointless movies.
So, Brian and Philip, you're first. What are you going to go with?
I do quite like Steven Spielberg, so...
He'll be pleased to hear that.
1941.
Let's see how many of our people said 1941. It's a correct answer. That's an impressively obscure answer. Only 5 of our 100 people said 1941.
Yeah, a really good answer. 1941, a Dan Aykroyd movie from the late 70s. I think I would have said 1941. Well, I wouldn't. I would have said one of the pointless ones because they're written in front of me.
Well, on to Sue and Sandra. Sue, what are you going to go with?
I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to go for Always.
Always. If it's incorrect, of course, it will earn you the maximum of 100 points. Let's see how many of our 100 people went with Always. It's the right answer.
Come on. Come on.
That's a great score, but so nearly a pointless. That's so unfair to be so near and so far. Always. Richard?
Always, because a 1989 film with, I think, Richard Dreyfuss and Holly Hunter. You'd probably know more about it than I would. What's the plot?
It's about a guy that dies.
Oh, sounds great. Oh, well, anyway, look out for it. It sounds like a cracker. On to Mohammed and Rabina. Mohammed, what are you going to go with?
See, now, because they've done so well, I'm going to have to risk it. I'm going to say Amistad. I don't even know if he directed it. I think he did, but I think it's going to be pointless because I just found out recently. Amistad.
Amistad.
Amistad, yeah.
And it has to be a film directed by
I hope so.
Steven Spielberg.
I don't know.
And if it's incorrect, you will score the maximum of 100 points. Amistad. Let's see how many of our 100 people said that. It's a correct answer. Good. Ooh. Oh, it's pointless! So that means none of our 100 people said Amistad, and that adds another £250 to today's jackpot. Amistad, Richard?
Yeah, great answer. It's a 1997 film about slavery, nominated for 4 Oscars.
Yeah, I'm impressed. I'm impressed. I knew you had a pointless in you there, and now you've got it. Well done. Phil and Wendy. Phil, what are you going to go for?
Lots of Spielberg films in my head, but all of them are popular. So one I can think of is Close Encounters.
Close Encounters of the Third Kind. OK, well, let's see how many of our 100 people went with that. Not bad. Oh. 39. I mean, that's not a terribly high score, but it does, I'm afraid, leave you as the front runners. OK, well, let's see where we are. Mohammed and Rabina, obviously you're doing very well with the lowest score of 0. And Phil and Wendy, I'm afraid things aren't looking that good for you as you have the highest score currently with 39. If things stay that way, you will be leaving the game at the end of this round. So you've got to try and score as little as possible. Try and think of those obscure films. So we're going to come back up the line. Will the second players please take their places at the podium? OK, Wendy, your turn. So remember, we're looking for a film directed by Steven Spielberg. What are you going to go with?
All or Nothing. I could have got this completely wrong, but there's something niggling in the back of my head. It's a film called Batteries Not Included, which I pray is a Steven Spielberg film.
Well, if it's a pointless, It would put you very much back in the running. Batteries not included. Let's see how many of our 100 people said that. Oh! Well, unfortunately, that is a wrong answer, which means that you did score the maximum of 100 points. So, yeah, batteries not included. What about that?
I think that's really tough luck. It was exec produced by Steven Spielberg.
Oh.
Wasn't directed by him. It was directed by Matthew Robbins.
You see what it was, Wendy? Your knowledge was too specialist. You know too much for this show. Unfortunately, with 139 points, there's no way anyone can get a higher score than you, so you are definitely out at the end of this round. Even if they score the maximum 100 points, they still won't have as high a score as you. Pointless is all about scoring as low as possible, but our other pairs can still try and find those pointless answers and add more money to the jackpot. So, we move on to Rabina and Mohammed. Rabina, it's your turn. What are you going to go with?
I'm going to go, I hope it's an obvious one, Saving Private Ryan.
Saving Private Ryan. OK, well, let's see how many of our 100 people said Saving Private Ryan. Oh, 13. Well, that was nearly a pointless, but still, it was a very good low score. Sandra and Sue, see if you can find that elusive, pointless answer.
Nothing to lose. Catch me if you can.
So remember, we're looking for a film directed by Steven Spielberg. Let's see how many of our 100 people went with Catch Me If You Can. Very good indeed. That means that none of our 100 people said it, and it adds £250 to today's jackpot. It's a really good film, I thought. What do you say about that,
I thought it was a
Richard?
great film. I'm amazed that was pointless. Leonardo DiCaprio, isn't it?
Yeah, interesting. Anyway, very well chosen. Yeah. Philip, your turn. What are you going to say?
Well, I'm no film buff at all, so I think I'm just going to go for an easy one that I think is a Spielberg one, which is Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park. Whatever the outcome, you're definitely safe. So remember, we're looking for a film directed by Steven Spielberg. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Jurassic Park. So that means that 25 of our 100 people said Jurassic Park. So at the end of round 2, the losing pair with the highest score are Phil and Wendy. Remember, the aim was to score the lowest number of points possible.
Yeah, we know.
That was a tough one, was it?
We knew the rules, you didn't know the answers.
What else can you tell us about Steven Spielberg and his films?
These are the answers that none of our 100 people could remember. We heard Amistad from Mohammed. We have Catch Me If You Can from Sue. Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull was pointless. Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade was pointless.
Really?
Nobody mentioned it at all. Do you want to have a little guess what the three most
popular
the worst answers they could have given? We've already had Close Encounters.
E.T.
E.T. was number one, the worst answer you could have given. And number 3 was Jaws.
Well, thanks very much, Richard. OK, Phil and Wendy, you've wasted one of your chances to get through to the pointless final, so we have to say goodbye to you for today, but we'll see you next time for your last chance. But for the remaining 3 pairs, it's time for round 3. The round 3 category is the calendar. The calendar. So, who's going to go first and who's going to go second?
Because we're last.
Right, whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. Let's find out what the question's going to be. So, we gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many animals and elements of the Chinese zodiac as they could. Richard, tell us about that.
Yep, in the Chinese zodiac, there's 12 animals, so that's the year of this, that, or the other. But also every 12 years, the element changes as well. There's 5 of them, so there's 12 animals, and there are 5 elements.
Very good.
Very best of luck.
Remember, you need to score the fewest points, so you need to give the most obscure answer you can. That's the one that the fewest of our 100 people came up with. OK, Brian and Philip, you're first. Brian?
Oh dear, this is, I'm not sure about this at all. Obviously they're animals, so I'm just going to punt for an animal and hope it's
Remember, if it's wrong, you score 100 points.
rabbit.
Rabbit.
Yeah.
You're going to go with rabbit. So remember, we're looking for an animal or element of the Chinese zodiac. Let's see how many of our 100 people said rabbit. That's a correct answer. 22. Okay, well, that seems a sort of fair sort of score, 22. Let's see how Sue and Sandra do. Sue.
It's not going to be my best subject, I think. I'm going to take a stab at snake.
You're going to go with snake. We're looking for elements or animals from the Chinese zodiac. You're going to go with snake. Let's see how many of our 100 people said snake. It's correct. 43. Mohammed and Rabina. Mohammed.
As always, I've got two in my mind, and I'll take the one which is not my year, but it's one which is quite weird for a Chinese calendar. The pig.
Okay, well, let's see how many of our 100 people went with pig. Okay, well, let's see where we are. Brian and Philip, you're doing very well with your low score of 22, but Mohammed and Rabina, things aren't looking quite so good for you. You have got our current highest score of 51. If it stays that way, you could be leaving the show at the end of this round. So we're going to come back down the line. Can the second players please now take their places at the podium? Okay, so we are thinking of elements and animals from the Chinese zodiac. Rabina, it's your turn.
I really haven't got a clue on this one, so I'm going to take a stab in the dark and say rat.
You are currently the high scorers on 51, so you've got to hope that rat is a lovely low score for you. Let's see how many of our 100 people went with rat. $64. That means 64 of our 100 people went with rat, and that takes your total to 115. That is the score not to beat everyone else. Sandra, your turn.
Feeling the pressure, but I'm going to go for hen.
You're going to go for hen. Okay, well, you want to score 71 or less, so you don't overtake Rabina and Mohammed's high score of 115. That's the line you want to get to below. Let's see how many of our 100 people said hen. Oh, no! Oh, no, unfortunately, that's a wrong answer, which means that you score the maximum of 100 points. Oh, bad luck. Richard, the hen.
Yeah, there's no year of the hen, I'm sorry.
That takes your score up to 143, which I'm afraid means that you will be eliminated at the end of this round, as no one else can score as high as that. But, Brian and Philip, there's a chance for you maybe to get a pointless answer and add £250 to our jackpot. Philip, what are you going to go with?
Well, I don't think I'll be getting a pointless. I'm going to go with monkey.
Monkey. You're going to go with monkey. Let's see how many of our 100 people went with monkey. Well, it's good enough. That means 42 of our 100 people said monkey. So at the end of round 3, the losing pair with the highest score are Sue and Sandra. Oh, guys, that was so unfortunate.
I just had in my head hen. I was convinced, absolutely convinced. But we've made it as far as the third round, so that's fantastic.
Doing what we intended to come to do.
You have. You could have gone all the way. That's the tough thing. You know, the more obscure you try to be, you know, the nearer you come to risking the highest possible score. Well, we didn't have any pointless answers, so there were no answers that none of our 100 people gave. Richard, what could they have come up with?
Well, I think for the second day in a row, it's really bad luck, because there isn't a year of the hen, but there is a year of the rooster. Hen, of course, being a lady.
Of course.
Rooster being a gentleman, so we can't give it. We'd have chicken sexers up and down the country, up in arms if we gave you that. Everyone mentioned a lot of the animals.
Yes.
The really low points were for the Chinese elements. Those are the ones that change every 12 years. The lowest answers would have been earth, metal, and wood. And the top answer, we've already spectacularly, we've had 2 of the top 3 top answers from Mohammed and Rabina, and yet they've still gone through. They gave us rat and pig, and dog was the second most popular answer. And you and I
were
born in the same year.
Yes.
Sometime in the mid-80s, roughly around the
So
mid-80s.
around then,
we were
yes,
born.
that's one.
We are both, I'm quite proud of this, we're both metal dogs.
We're metal dogs.
Yeah, you and I, my friend, are metal dogs.
Very good, metal dog. My favourite piece on the Monopoly board as well. Well, thanks very much, Richard. Sue and Sandra, that was your second and final chance on the show. You just didn't have the pointless knowledge you needed to win, so I'm afraid we do have to say goodbye. But for the remaining 2 pairs, things are about to get even more exciting as we now enter the head-to-head. Well done. You've made it through to the head-to-head. Now, only one pair can make it through to today's final and play for today's jackpot, which currently stands at £3,500. OK, so here's how the head-to-head works. You are now allowed to confer. Each team will take turns to give me an answer, and you'll each have an equal number of turns. The first team that accumulates more than 100 points, or the team that goes over 100 by the most, will lose. So, as always, to stay in the game, you want to score as few points as possible by saying the answers that the fewest number of our 100 people gave. Brian and Philip, you performed best over the first 3 rounds, so not only do you get to decide whether or not you go first, you also get to choose the topic. So you get to choose between the Americas or football. The Americas or football?
I'll go with either. But you've got to be the stronger one.
Well, OK.
OK.
What do you reckon?
I think we'll go for football.
Oh, God.
Football. OK, and would you like to go first or second?
I think you might.
Mohammed's thrilled with football.
Yes. First?
Yeah, go first.
You're going to go first, and it's going to be football. OK, let's play Pointless. OK, so let's find out what the question is. So we gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many England football team managers since 1966 as they could. Richard.
We're looking for any of the 14 men who have managed England for at least 1 game since 1966. There are 14 of them, and you've genuinely never seen a list of such sort of disappointed men in your life. This is genuinely a dinner party you wouldn't want to be invited to.
OK, so remember, you don't want to go over 100, so you want to score the lowest number of points each time. OK, Brian and Philip.
I'm going to go for somebody who became extremely unpopular because he left the England football job to manage the Saudis, Don Revie.
Don Revie. OK, let's see how many of our 100 people went with Don Revie. Oh, it's good. 13. Mohammed and Rabina.
Should we just leave now?
We should just
Go
go.
on, you might just, by chance, come up with the name of an England manager.
Football's the worst game in the world. Cricket's the best. I'm a cricket fan, and we hate football. It's our worst subject, and it came up. What can we say?
Yeah.
Thanks, boys, for choosing this. Is he even? I don't know his name. I'm just making names up.
I don't think we could do anyway.
OK, you just have to come up with an England football team manager since 1966.
I don't even know if it's real. Just say it. I don't even know.
He's going to let me say it because we don't even know. Brian Clough?
OK, Brian Clough. Remember, if you get it wrong, you will score the maximum of 100 points. And you'll be very close to scoring over 100, which will eliminate you from this round. How many of our 100 people went with Brian Clough?
Oh! Oh, I can't believe that.
Brian Clough. I mean, he'd have liked to have been England manager, I'm sure. Richard?
Yeah, you know, he should have been England manager, and he was a big rival of Don Revie, but he never was, I'm afraid.
OK, Mohammed and Rabina, you have scored the maximum of 100 points, but you could stay in the game. You just have to score pointless answers for the rest of this round.
Yeah, we were just
Good luck
joking.
with that. Brian and Philip, what are you going to go with this time?
Okay. Yes, when I was a bit younger, I remember this chap was vilified and called Turnip Head because he failed to take England to the World Cup finals. Graham Taylor.
Graham Taylor.
Yeah.
Why not like that? Let's see how many of our 100 went with Graham Taylor. There's the red line. You want to come below. It's good. 22. Takes your total to 35. Okay, Mohammed and Rabina. The only way to stay in the game is to get a pointless answer.
Well, I think I've got one. No, I'm not having. I'm lying. Let's say one which we know is right at least. Sven-Göran Eriksson.
Sven-Göran Eriksson. Let's see how many of our 100 people went with Sven-Göran Eriksson. So close, bad luck. Yes, you've had 2 turns each, and Mohammed and Rabina, you have gone over 100, and you've scored 161, so I'm afraid you know what that means. Bad luck. That was just a subject that you didn't know.
It's the worst subject I think that could have came up. And in Americas, I probably would have been much better on that one. Like States or something like that, but...
Yeah. Well, you played fantastically earlier. You scored a pointless, and you've been fantastic sports. But, Richard, what should they have gone for?
Well, there were no pointless answers at all. The 3 lowest scoring answers, you'd have to be a bit of a football geek for these. Howard Wilkinson, who was a caretaker boss for 2 games. Peter Taylor, who uniquely never won or drew a single game as England manager. He only played 1, but he lost that. And Joe Mercer, who was briefly the manager in the 70s, but all very, very difficult, I think.
OK, well, thanks very much for that, Richard. Mohammed and Rabina, that was your second and final chance on the show. You got so close, but you just didn't have that pointless knowledge you needed to win your way through to the final. But for Brian and Philip, it's time for our pointless final. Congratulations, Brian and Philip. You've made it to the end of Pointless. You've fought off 4 pairs and get to take home our Pointless trophy. Now you've got a chance to win our Pointless jackpot. So at the end of today's show, the jackpot stands at £3,500. OK, the rules are very simple. To win all that money, all you have to do is find a pointless answer that none of our 100 people could think of. We've had 3 pointless answers today. Brian, you got one of those. All you have to do to win the money is find just 1 more pointless answer. First, you must choose a category from these 3 options. You can go for Canterbury Tales, TV Legends, or International Flags.
TV Legends.
Let's go for the TV.
Yeah? Well, you know more about TV Legends than you know about flags, so let's go for that, yeah? OK.
TV Legends.
TV Legends,
TV Legends.
Yes.
OK, let's find out what the question is. So we gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many TV shows starring David Jason as they could. Richard.
Yeah, we're essentially looking for any TV show in which David Jason receives an acting credit. Not shows where he appears as himself, not anything made for the cinema, but voiceover work does count. So where he's a voice in a show, that counts.
Thank you very much, Richard. Well, you now have up to 1 minute to come up with 3 answers. And all you need to win that £3,500 is for just 1 of those answers to be pointless. Your 60 seconds start now.
Right, I'm thinking of Danger Mouse. That's 1.
Right.
I'm
only thinking of Fools and Horses.
OK,
and
well, I think that'd be 2. What about the one he did with Ronnie Barker? What was the one?
Oh, Open All Hours.
Open All Hours, right. Should we go for that one?
Yeah.
Danger Mouse, Open All Hours. Anything else? Porterhouse Blue, was that him?
Yes.
Was that him? Yeah. Should we go for that?
Yeah.
OK. OK, I think...
OK, there you are.
Yeah.
Actually, stop the clock. OK, what are they going to be?
OK, Danger Mouse, Open All Hours, and Porterhouse Blue.
OK, so let's put those up on the screen. Danger Mouse, Open All Hours and Porterhouse Blue. And remember, the jackpot is £3,500. There's a lot of money to play for. We are looking for TV shows starring David Jason. Let's go through them one by one. Let's see how many of our people said Danger Mouse. This really has to be pointless. The jackpot is £3,500. Oh, it's good. We're looking for a pointless here. It's going down. Look at that. There. Oh, that means 2 of our 100 people said that, so unfortunately that's not a pointless answer. But you have 2 more chances to win today's jackpot. Let's hope none of our 100 people went with your next answer. Let's see how many said Open All Hours. Remember, we're looking for TV shows starring David Jason. We're looking for a pointless here. Well, down it goes. Oh! I was hoping everybody would be so busy remembering Ronnie Barker there, they'd have forgotten David Jason. Well, I'm sorry, 39 of our 100 went with Open All Hours, so that was not a pointless answer. You only have one final chance to win today's jackpot. Remember, we're looking for TV shows starring David Jason. So, for £3,500, let's see how many of our 100 people went with Porterhouse Blue. A lot riding on this. Come on, down it goes. This has to be a pointless answer. Oh, down it goes. Oh, no! So close. Unfortunately, you didn't manage to find that all-important pointless answer, so you didn't win today's jackpot of £3,500, and that rolls over for our next show. Just as we were waiting there, you said you just thought of another one.
Yeah.
What was that?
Do not adjust your set. I think
Do not adjust your set.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Dear, oh dear. You played fantastically well. You got a pointless earlier on in the game, so a real shame that you came so close. 2 of those, I mean, you had 2 and 3 there, didn't you?
Yeah.
Such bad luck. Well, Richard.
Well, David Jason was in Do Not Adjust Your Set. It's a very obscure answer, but would have scored you 2 points. It still wouldn't have won the game for you. Another great answer, though.
But what else could they have gone for?
Well, 2 great answers, really unlucky. There were lots of obscure pointless answers, but some of the ones people at home might have got. He was in Crossroads very briefly. Nobody said that. He was in Randall and Hopkirk, Deceased. He was in Wind in the Willows, played Mr. Toad in Wind in the Willows. Nobody said that. The BFG, he was the voice of the BFG. And more recently, he was Micawber. And he also exec produced and starred in a show called The Quest, sort of 2 years ago. Those would all have been pointless answers. So well done if you got any of those.
Well, bad luck, but you've been fantastic contestants. It's been great to have you on the show. Thank you so much for playing so well. Join us next time on Pointless, where we put more obscure knowledge to the test. But in the meantime, it's goodbye from Richard.
Bye.
And goodbye from me. Brian and Philip were unable to win the jackpot, so that rolls over to tomorrow. Join us then when we hope someone has the obscure knowledge